It's a beautiful night out here in Phoenix for some high school football. Welcome on in to the Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown on CW7 Arizona. We've got a great matchup here from Central High School between Brophy Prep and Basha. It's going to be a fun game. Welcome on in. I'm Jordan Spurgeon. Coming up throughout the show, we'll have our booth, Jody Jackson on play-by-play, and Cody Cameron as the analyst. Our sideline reporter, Lexi Lambert, will be joining me in a minute as well. We've got lots of content coming. I sat down with Brophy Prep wide receiver Devin Fitzgerald, son of Larry Fitzgerald, to learn more about him and even some things that he potentially does in the kitchen. We'll hear from more, and we will be all set to go here for the Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown on CW7. So I'm here with our sideline reporter, Lexi Lambert, and as part of the Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown every Thursday, the Arizona Daily Mix is going out to the schools to do a pep rally. So this morning you were out at Brophy Prep. How'd that go?
It was great. I mean, there's no other way to start a game day than by having a pep rally at the home school. We were out there with Brad Perry, Teresa Strasser, and we really just hung out with the football team and the cheerleaders. It was great.
That's what it's all about. You know, I got to stop in a little bit, and it was great. So Lexi, let's see more of that.
Let's check it out.
I'm feeling good. Our kids are big. We're strong. We're ready to go. We got a big-time game tonight.
Yeah, defense is fired up. We've been working for this game all offseason, and we can't wait to get out on that field.
Right on to you for tonight. There we go. That's what we're talking about.
I mean, we recently got said that we're the #1 student section in the state.
Yeah, let's go.
Fiesta Sports Foundation is all about supporting our community through youth sports and education. And what better way to do that than football season?
We are Brophy Prep Cheer, and it is time for the Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown on CW7 Arizona.
Lexi, how about that? So much fun. That's what high school football is all about.
Totally. They brought the hype, they brought the energy, and they took it all the way through.
Speaking of bringing the hype, bringing the energy, two coaches in this one, Chris McDonald and Jason Jewell for Basha and Brophy. You got more with them coming up soon. Longtime brothers in this space. So we'll have that soon. Coming up after the break, we're joining the booth. Jody Jackson, Cody Cameron, they're on the call today. I'll catch up with them and we'll find out more about these teams and some key players.
Beyond game day, you'll find the Fiesta Sports Foundation working year-round to improve Arizona communities. In education, in youth programs, in sports. With more than 1 million Arizonans supported in 2024 and over 32 million in charitable donations since 2011. With your help, we'll go above and beyond in everything we do. Fiesta Sports Foundation. Our season never ends.
The Labor Day sale is on now at More Furniture. Join us this weekend where you'll find every bedroom, living room, and dining room is in stock, on sale, and ready for immediate free white glove delivery to your home. Plus, we'll remove your gently used pieces and donate them locally. You've worked hard all year long. It's your turn to relax in style and comfort. Labor Day savings like never before. Only at More Furniture, where everyone gets more furniture for less.
Welcome back into the Fiesta Bowl High School Football matchup. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Fiesta Bowl and Fiesta Sports Foundation, supporting Arizona youth sports and education. I'm joined now in the booth by the play-by-play and analyst for the game, Jody Jackson and Cody Cameron. And this game is going to be so much fun, you two. Cody, you've been around the high school scene a long time. Is this the most talent you've seen on one football on one night at one time?
Well, we got like 40 Division I football players here on this field, and when you look at these two teams, yes, two of the top teams in the state of Arizona, but Jordan, you just mentioned it. This might be the top game in the entire country. And Jody, when we were doing our prep for this, we were looking at all these players and all these accolades, and I got a couple players on here, and when you look at offers and accolades, I just put a million, because that's how talented these two teams are.
Yeah, I mean, they overlap because obviously just to name some of the names, you know, Devin Fitzgerald, you're talking about 30 offers there. You're talking about the two tackles for Basha. You've got Jake Hildebrand and Dejan Yarborough. Jake has 38 offers, Yarborough 19 offers. So we could go on. And Jordan, it's going to be exciting, especially right out of the gate. You know, these two teams met on October 4th, and it was a 3-point game. And even though a lot has changed with these teams, a lot of the core players are still the same. So I'm really thinking that game is going to be fresh in the mind, and they're going to be looking at maybe, Brophy has that on their mind because they lost by 3.
Yeah, it's always been tough with these two teams, but the talent speaks for itself. Cody, Basha being one of the teams, and you can see some of the players up there. We talk about Division I, and that's important, the top talent. But what both coaches do so well, you talk to any of their players, they just know every coach at every level. These guys, no matter what their skill level is, they can find a school because of the coaching staffs that have been put together at these two schools.
Yeah, both coaching staffs are amazing. Heck, when you look at the Brophy side, there are so many coaches on that coaching staff that were previous head football coaches at other schools around the valley. Why is that important? I think it brings another aspect of leadership for this Brophy team, and that stuff matters. It is hard to get good assistant coaches now in the high school football era. When you add coaches like that, it really elevates your game. Same thing with Basha. Coach McDonald has one of his best staffs that I think he's ever had in his coaching career. It is going to be an amazing game, not just because of the talent, but when you talk about 6A football, you talk about the speed and the violence, the schemes that these coaches put together. We're going to see some world-class football out here tonight.
Yeah, especially, I know Chris is going to be the OC now this year, too, so taking on those duties. And I think one of the big challenges is, if you want to call it a challenge, Noah Roberts and Josh Gaines. We know Noah's one of those guys with 1 million offers. Josh has offers as well. But working them in, I think, will we see them on the field together this year, where last year we really didn't as much? I think that'll be something to watch.
On both teams this year, this game is big, not only because they want to beat each other. I know Brophy hasn't won since 2019. That's on Jason's mind. He wants to beat them. But both teams have championship expectations. The Open Division's different this year. Basha, runners-up last year against Liberty. Brophy went far in 6A. So it's going to be a great game. But Jody, Cody, we'll have more from you at kickoff at 7. So that'll do it for now. And when we come back from break, we will have more. I sat down with Devin Fitzgerald, wide receiver for Brophy Prep. Stay tuned.
Buy your season tickets. Let's make that every single week of next year. Because why would you not want to be in that environment? That's one of the most fun places to be in college football. Why would you not want to do that every Saturday?
I'm attorney Jeffrey Phillips, and I know Arizona. I know the highest point is Humphreys Peak at 12,633 feet, and the lowest point being represented by a lawyer that doesn't know Arizona law. You might say they don't know a mountain from a molehill. So if you're seriously injured here, call me, Jeffrey Phillips. Since 1993, we've recovered over $1 billion for accident victims. Phillips Law Group. Everything you need to win, including a Phillips. Call 602-222-2222.
Mom's in the doghouse again, huh?
Yep, she sure is.
I cheated on my math test. And that got us into crypto. We're down, but we're gonna rally.
We're gigillionaires now. The Wi-Fi works great everywhere, not just the doghouse. Not you too, Beth. Okay, we're all going to the doghouse.
Expand your Wi-Fi footprint. Get home internet from AT&T with no annual contract. Prices starting as low as $47 a month.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
What store has the best furniture sale on Labor Day? Let's start over. The Dump is not a store. We're the luxury liquidators when famous brands need cash. So our prices start way below any sale at any store. Labor Day, we're 80% off of that. And tariffs, forget about it. The liquidators of luxury, the greatest Labor Day of all time. The GOAT. To the dump, to the dump, to the dump, dump, dump.
We're about 20 minutes away from kickoff here at Central High School. Brophy Prep hosting Basha. Tonight's game is brought to you by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. We fight to get what you deserve. Great matchup coming up, like I said, in just about 20 minutes. Lots of talent on both sides. One name you might know if you've been a fan of Valley sports over the years is Devin Fitzgerald, son of Larry Fitzgerald, out of the Fiesta Bowl Media Day for the preseason All-Americans. I had a chance to catch up with him and go one-on-one. Here's more on Devin Fitzgerald.
I think our skill positions got a lot better. I mean, we had a whole offseason. All of us worked really hard. I feel like we're going to see a lot of big improvements from all of us around the board, defense and offense. I think that's what's different.
What is it about Jason Jewell that just works for this program?
Coach Jewell, I mean, he's just a great guy, great coach. He keeps it real always. He's a people's person. Like, he knows everybody. He has connections with everybody. Like, any school you need to talk to, like, he's either played with them back at JUCO or wherever, or like he just knows them somehow magically. Brophy's also just it's an elite academic school, and you get to play 6A football and compete with the best. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer for, like, the NFL kids to send their, like, you want your kid to have great education, go to a Catholic school, and play good ball, that's where you send them.
So a few months ago, I was at Fitz's Supper Club, and I asked your dad, because he was wearing the chef's outfit, what he likes to make. And he says he doesn't cook.
Oh, no.
So he doesn't cook. Do you cook? Do you know how? Or is that all up to Mom?
No, that's... none of us cook, actually.
Okay.
I think we don't cook that much ever. He makes oatmeal. That's the most I've seen him make. I make some ramen, eggs. That's all I got, though.
Well, hey, Devin's got a great step heading to Notre Dame. He knows how to make ramen, so that's a good start once he gets in the dorms. If he ever misses an athlete meal at Notre Dame, I think he can at least make some ramen. That's something that apparently Larry Fitzgerald can't do. So Devin's got a step on him over there, and he's definitely going to be all over the field tonight. We're looking forward to seeing him out there for Brophy Prep. Over on Basha's side, so much talent as well. Anatoni Tahi, one of the names to watch out for on defense, and he's been waiting for this matchup against Brophy.
First game of the season, Brophy is probably like really watching film on them, because like they're a really tough team to beat, and they're like way more disciplined, and like we got to be more disciplined too. So yeah, like just honestly watching more film on them, and we've been playing them for each other. We've been playing each other for a while, so we know what to expect.
They know what to expect. Basha, like we said earlier with Jody and Cody, are the reigning Open Division champions, runner-ups. And so they are looking to set this season on a high note here against Brophy Prep. So it's going to be a fun matchup. Both coaches know each other well. They've been on staffs together, and they've been all over the state, and they are ready to have a good time. Our sideline reporter, Lexi Lambert, caught up with them earlier. You'll have more of that after the break, so it's going to be fun to hear from them as we continue to get set for this excellent matchup. But, while we're here at Central High School, there's so many things going on. I got to know the robotics club a little bit earlier. They have T-shirt cannons out here. They're going to be launching T-shirts into the stands. The student sections really know how to have fun. They've always been one of the top student sections. So if you're going to be here at the game, you're listening before you come on over, definitely check out the student section. But before we head to break, there's something that we wanted to talk about real quick. We want to take a moment to remember the life of Bill Riddle, who passed away earlier this summer. Bill was a cornerstone of Valley sports, including the Fiesta Bowl and the National Football Foundation local chapter, which will now be known as the Bill Riddle chapter. It's a beautiful tribute to Bill. I've done a lot of work with the National Football Foundation, Valley of the Sun Foundation over the years, and Bill has been a big part of that. So he was one of the all-time greats, and we wish his family the best. We'll see you after the break.
Frosty berry, bubblegum, chocolate, cool mint. Sound tempting? That's the point. But we're not talking candy or drinks. We're talking about nicotine pouches. No smoke, no smell, but they're still harmful and addictive. They can mess with your teeth and gums, your brain and heart. Tobacco-free doesn't mean risk-free. Don't get played by the flavors. Know what you're putting in your body. Stay smart. Visit learnmoreaz.org.
Space, the new frontier. For one of my billboards, wherever there is or will be people, there's sure to be accidents, and insurance companies willing to go to great lengths to deny claims. Well, too bad, because I go to greater lengths, and I win big. So wherever you are, or will be, Sweet James will be there to go to the moon and back for you. If you get injured in an accident, wherever that may be, call Sweet James.
Welcome everyone under the lights at Mountain America Stadium. Boy, look at this stadium. If you're not here, shame on you.
But in the long history of this facility, this is one of the biggest games ever played here.
This is the biggest game for these players, the biggest game for this city, the program, and even the valley.
Go up and go get it, young man. What a catch. Intercepted.
Buy your season tickets, because why would you not want to be in that environment?
When you live in a desert, you gotta have shade. Whether it's awnings, roll-down shades, or window screens, All Pro Shade Concepts brings style and comfort to your outdoor living. Keep your beautiful view while keeping the sun, dust, and neighbors out. With a variety of styles and fabrics to choose from, you'll get a shade solution that's uniquely yours. We want to celebrate 20 years with you. Call or visit allproshade.com for a free estimate and free installation.
Alvarez.
Alvarez? Who's Alvarez?
Corporal Alvarez.
Corporal Alvarez. Well done. Thank you, sir.
And it is a great time here on the Thursday night showdown on CW7 Fiesta Bowl. Putting on a great show here. Brophy taking the field right now, and we are getting closer and closer to kickoff. We are so excited for this game. Once the game starts, Cody and Jody Jackson with Cody Cameron in the booth, bringing you all the action for this game. I'm Jordan Spurgeon. Welcome back in. And down on the field, our sideline reporter Lexi Lambert caught up with Jason Jewell, the head coach of Brophy Prep, and Chris McDonald, head coach of Basha. They're just inseparable, so we thought, why not bring them together even before a game? Here's Lexi.
I'm out here with the head coaches from Basha and Brophy. Word on the street is you guys go way back, and you might be really good friends. Is that true?
True. I recruited his kids when I was at Glendale Community College, so Chris and I have a great relationship going back.
Love that. And so you guys are now rivals. You're competing against each other. It's week one, game one, big game. How have you guys been prepping, and is it different prepping for someone you're good friends with?
You want to go first? No, it's no different prepping for your friends because you got to win regardless, right? And I'm just hoping that the lowly Brophy Broncos can hang with these mighty Basha Bears today.
Here we go, sandbagging already. No, I mean, like it's another game, you know, and that's what you do. You compete, try and get your kids ready, and you know, other than that, you know, there's one night out of the year if we play each other that we don't root for each other, and other than that, I'm pulling for him. Great guy, runs a great program, and yeah.
That's amazing. And so has there been any chatter, talk, trash talk, loving talk between the two of you leading up to this game?
Not much. We didn't talk this week.
That's about all we do is banter back and forth anyway. So
no, we didn't talk this week.
Okay.
So.
What's motivating you guys for this game? You want to go first?
Well, we haven't beat them since 2019. So, and they're one of the top programs in the state, and we're trying to emulate them, honestly. Chris has built this program up to their contender, and we are striving to get where he's at currently.
Obviously, it's a big game, formidable opponent, and I'm like, that's what gets you kind of juiced, you know. This type of atmosphere, you know, he's got a great squad, obviously, and it's just fun getting ready. In preseason, you get geared up for something like this. Big game.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much, and best of luck with you guys. Want to hug it out, dab it out.
Thank you.
Great catching up with Coach McDonald and Jason Jewell there. Kickoff right around the corner. You'll see me throughout. Jody Jackson, Cody Cameron coming up next.
Beyond game day, you'll find the Fiesta Sports Foundation working year-round to improve Arizona communities. In education, in youth programs, in sports. With more than 1 million Arizonans supported in 2024 and over 32 million in charitable donations since 2011. With your help, we'll go above and beyond in everything we do. Fiesta Sports Foundation. Our season never ends.
Space, the new frontier. For one of my billboards, wherever there is or will be people, there's sure to be accidents. And insurance companies willing to go to great lengths to deny claims. Well, too bad, because I go to greater lengths, and I win big. So wherever you are, or will be, Sweet James will be there to go to the moon and back for you. If you get injured in an accident, wherever that may be, call Sweet James.
It's David Kimmerly. I've lived here for over 70 years, and I know the best place to buy a new Ford. It's Sanderson. But if you're new to the Valley, let me show you why. Size matters. We have 65 acres of cars with parts, service, collision center, custom shop, and an on-site Starliner diner. We're America's most awarded Ford dealership for complete customer satisfaction. We'll treat you right with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense.
Save over 10 grand on Bronco Badlands.
Thank you for your business over the past 70 years.
I'm Doug Hopkins, the #1 cash home buyer in Arizona. My message is clear. No gimmicks, hidden fees, inspections, appraisals, or repairs. Trust my guaranteed cash offer at DougHopkins.com.
Call Doug Hopkins, 1-800-SALE-NOW.
The Labor Day sale is on now at More Furniture. Join us this weekend where you'll find every bedroom, living room, and dining room is in stock, on sale, and ready for immediate free white glove delivery to your home. Plus, we'll remove your gently used pieces and donate them locally. You've worked hard all year long. It's your turn to relax in style and comfort. Labor Day savings like never before. Only at More Furniture, where everyone gets more furniture for less.
Welcome back. The Fiesta Bowl High School Showdown on CW7 Arizona. We are about to get it going here. The high school football season, the 6A slate kicks off with this huge game, a matchup of two 6A powers here tonight. We are at Ray Lang Field. We are at Central High, the home of the Brophy Broncos. And here in Central Phoenix, they are hosting the Basha Bears, who have come in from Chandler. Jody Jackson alongside Cody Cameron. And yeah, you know what? It's the end of August in Arizona. It's a little toasty out here. But this is what it's all about. I know as we're excited to get it going, you know that those guys are very excited to get it going, Cody.
It's a marquee matchup in the state of Arizona and in the country, Jody. 40-plus Division I football players down here. And yeah, it could be 110 out here, but what do we get? We get 98 degrees, a packed crowd. The student fan base over there for Brophy has been popping off the last 30 minutes. You cannot paint a better scene to start the Arizona high school football season for the big teams here in the 6A conference.
Yeah, I know you were out at the pep rally earlier. The Stampede is the student section here. I remember it way back when these guys played at Phoenix College. But let's get to right now, because Basha, we know they won the state championship in 2022. And Brophy, we are looking at Jason Jewell's 7th season here. And, you know, these guys are good friends, as we saw with Lexi. Jason Jewell, Chris McDonald. But this is going to be intense competition. Let's get to some of the players. Noah Roberts, number 6 for Basha. As you would say, offers everywhere, as we are watching, of course, the coin toss right now.
Yeah, Noah's one of the best football players in the state of Arizona. A million offers. But let's look at what he does at the high school level. I mean, this is a kid who can average 7 to 8 yards per carry every time he touches the rock. And it's just not in the run game, Jody. He is a great complementary piece in the passing game for senior quarterback Brody Bears as well. He's a 10 800-meter track runner. And we always love this. I love highlighting this for the high school athletes. He is an honor student, so he's getting it done on the field, in the classroom. He is a kid you want 20 touches a game easily.
Yeah, there's no question we're going to see him in the run and pass game, and we are watching the coin toss right now as it's Brophy and Basha out here on the field, and kickoff is coming soon out here at Ray Lang Field, and we're so excited that the Fiesta Bowl has supported this, CW7 Arizona as well, and this is just the first of a series of games, and the coin toss is brought to you by the U.S. Army, the Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown coin toss, brought to you by the U.S. Army. Be all you can be. And what we're seeing right now is, well, of course, we got the Fiesta Bowl mascot out there as well. But, again, talking to Scott Lightman from the Fiesta Bowl, and just, I know you were out at Media Day, Eric Moses, tremendous support. And I love the fact that high school football is so back in a huge way, Cody. And tonight, the talent that is out here, as many as 40 players who could be playing in college next year.
And the thing I love about this partnership, too, here, Jody, is you have corporations and foundations like the Fiesta Sports Foundation, the Fiesta Bowl, and they're dumping resources into promoting high school athletics. We've seen it with the boys tackle, and we've seen it in girls flag as well. It's the growth of the sports. It's the growth of the student athletes in the Arizona high school football and utilizing their platforms to show these tremendous student athletes. And what a game. This is the top game in the state of Arizona here tonight. Basha Brophy. We talked about the coaches a couple segments ago, and some of the best staffs in the state of Arizona, too. So we're in for a treat.
It absolutely is. And tonight's game is brought to you by the Fiesta Bowl and Fiesta Sports Foundation, supporting Arizona youth, sports, and education. You can kind of sense, we saw the teams run out, the intensity here. I talked about it a little bit in the pregame, Cody. October 4th matchup. Basha got up 35-17, but it was a 35-32 game. That was a really close game, and, you just don't know what we're going to see here tonight. That's what's exciting about it.
And you have a skill set at Basha, the skill groups of running backs and receivers, and they have so many players, Jody, who can score anytime they touch the rock. I mean, they are a serious threat on the offensive side of the ball. So if you're Basha, you want to run away with this one early, because if you let Brophy hang around, they're going to be in it all the way to the end.
Yeah, and for those that maybe aren't aware, but the star power out here in the NFL lineage, you see Devin Fitzgerald, son of Larry, of course, out here, Kyle Vanden Bosch's twin boys, Case and Bastion. And then on the other side, you've also got a lot of talent over there on the Basha side, no question about that. So as we wind our way toward kickoff here, again, we're in Central Phoenix, Ray Lang Field. It is the Fiesta Bowl High School Showdown here on CW7 Arizona. Thursday night lights, if you will, and we are excited to bring it to you once again. It will be Jason Jewell, the head coach of the Brophy Broncos, matching up with Chris McDonald for the Basha Bears, both looking to become open champs at the end of this, but it starts tonight. Stay with us.
It took 3,000 mattress stores to close forever to get Tempur-Pedic to liquidate to the dump. For California Heirloom Handmade, up to $20,000, $14.99. King size, free. Hand-sewn, hand-signed Stearns & Foster. Schiffman, the world's finest, up to $20,000, liquidated, $14.99. Chicago's luxury beds, $575. Liquidate every Perfect Sleeper, $399. 5 years free interest, free next-day delivery, free 65-inch TVs. To the dump, Luxury Liquidators.
It's time to lock and load, in fighter mode. This is where legends are made, stories told. This is where the weak come and perish cause they fold. If you wanna live forever, gotta be bold. It's time to bring the force. I'm the newcomer trying to pass me the torch. It's not a new course. It's time to bring the force. I'm the newcomer trying to pass me the torch. It's not a new course. It's time to bring the force. It's time to bring the force.
Learn more at rsi.edu.
Fuel your game day with Raising Cane's. The Jacks and their fans are some of the most dedicated in football. It's a fundamental quality we share. And that fuels every single order of our hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, every crispy crinkle-cut fry, every slice of buttery Texas toast, and you'll taste it with every dip into our legendary cane sauce. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's. NAU True Blue. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One Love. Proud partner of NAU Athletics.
Tonight's game is presented by Precision Aging Network, closing the gap between cognitive health span and human lifespan. Great shot from our drone here on CW7 Arizona Fiesta Bowl. High school showdown here at Brophy as we get it going. Again, it is Basha Bears visiting Brophy. Jody Jackson alongside Cody Cameron, our analyst here tonight. And Cody, you know these players and coaches so well. Give me your keys to tonight's game.
Well, here we go, Jody, in a jam-packed 6A conference game. Look at how beautiful this is. You can tell I wrote this just gorgeous, short and sweet here. For a Brophy, you got to stop the run. Basha has a loaded running back room. We highlighted Noah Roberts, but they also have Joshua Gaines, the senior tailback who's got a couple Division I offers. Vanilla here, but you got to win the turnover battle. That is so important, especially in games starting the season. And then win the 50-50 battles. You have players like Devin Fitzgerald on the outside and some of these big body receivers for Brophy. You must win those, especially on these third down conversions here in the game to stay alive. If you're the Basha Bears, win up front. You have some serious talent up front, and these beefs are looking to dominate. If Basha can do that, there's a chance maybe they run away with this one, Jody. Get the athletes the ball in space. They have a ton of receivers. I kid you not. There's like 12 to 14 receivers over at Basha that can take the rock anytime and take it for 6, and then defensively secure tackles. I think a lot of, sometimes at the high school level, Jody, little kids get too happy. They don't wrap up and secure a tackle. That is huge, because if Brophy's going to stay in the game, they're going to pop off some big plays. Secure tackles if you're Basha's defense.
Tonight's game and our keys to the game brought to you by Chapman Automotive Group. Visit ChapmanAZ.com, and we get set to kick things off. It will be Brophy receiving and kicking off for the Basha Bears. You've got Mikey Barth, his dad Mike, a kicker at ASU. Some of you may remember that. And all 57 of his kickoffs last year were touchbacks, so he's got quite a leg. He is literally, Cody, the best in the state, Mikey Barth.
He really is. And heck, we spent so much time highlighting the offense and defenses. Jody, these special teams on both sides have tremendous kicking and long snapping and coverage skills as well. Basha's got so many defensive players out there on the kick team that will get a ton of PT today. That stuff matters at all levels of high school football. There's some of the top talent in all 3 phases of football here tonight.
We've got our 7 officials out on the field. Teams are lined up, and we are set to get it going here with Julian Ferrari and Ryder Noche set to receive the kick. And here it is, the football season underway here on a Thursday night. And that one, as predicted by Mikey Barth, goes into the end zone. And so you've got Brophy taking over and ready to get this season started against 2 of the best teams in 6A. Basha, the state runner-up last year. And for Brophy, I think, Cody, one of the biggest things you have to look at is they're going to be, of course, taking over at the 20 is the new O-line. They've switched out all 5 starters. We know Logan Powell was the guy that they used to run behind last year. He's at Wisconsin, so we'll see how this O-line performs. At quarterback, under center is Case Vandenbosch to get it going. And he's set back to throw deep on the first play of this game. It's incomplete. And it was intended for Donovan McNabb Jr., who is starting in the place of Dalen Sharper tonight.
Yeah, and that's a huge loss for Brophy, something that we learned only about an hour before pregame, and that's a tough one. But once again, they still have talent on the outside and a couple running backs. Harrison Chambers is a player who's had a lot of experience the last 2 years. Other players may step up. I love that you mentioned that offensive line. Jody, that was a Brophy offensive line where all 5 kids had collegiate offers, 4 of them playing at the next level on Saturdays this fall. So that's a big key to watch that young front against a terrific Basha defensive line.
Well, they tried to go for the home run on first down. You got to love that. Back there with Case Vandenbosch is another senior, Harrison Chambers. So tough, cares so much, Jason Jewell says. And it's play action, it's tipped, and there is a flag on the play as Vandenbosch was looking for the receiver. But it falls incomplete.
Yeah, the thing about Case Vandenbosch that I love is he also brings a dual threat ability. I think that's one of the features, Jody, that makes him really, really special. And so when you get in these situations of a, second and long, a 3rd and 10, and maybe they're eyeing an outside zone or an inside zone to Harrison, he's really, really good about pulling that. If an edge guy crashes, taking that and picking up a first down run for 10 to 15. He's done that a million times. And as that flag here, Basha declines, and we'll have our first 3rd and long situation of this game.
Yeah, 3rd and long. And Case Vandenbosch, by the way, total yardage last year over 2,800 yards rushing and passing. So 3rd and 10. As Devin Fitzgerald's in motion, and you'll see him on the top right. And they're making an adjustment, and it looks like it's going to be a penalty against Brophy.
And I think they actually got a timeout right before that delay of game sneaking in. So I think some early jitters for the Broncos offense here to start this one.
And Case Vandenbosch, last year it was a quarterback battle. Rylan Humphrey, they came out of there. And Case emerged as a great quarterback last year, but he's still progressing in that role. But I think he's like a veteran back there, honestly, and some of the receivers. When you have a new line, 2 freshmen on the line. Jason Jewell told me he's never had that in 7 years.
No, and the good thing for him, though, those freshmen are really, really big. I mean, heck, on the field, they look like juniors and seniors, but you're right, that experience matters, especially when you're facing one of the top teams in the state in Basha. And going back to Case, I think what won him that job last year, Jody, is his intelligence. He's like having another coach in the huddle, out in the field. He led a couple of those drives late last season where I think those pivotal moments of going, this is our secured starter. And so Case has earned every single opportunity he's had out of it.
And this Basha defense, they're experienced on the other side. The D-line, Blue Dantzler's the only guy not returning, so a lot of experience there. 3rd and 10, Vandenbosch back to pass, and he finds the tight end.
There we go.
And he is out and past the first down, picks up some more yardage.
Yes, there we go. Stay there, stay with it.
So a nice conversion right there for the Brophy Broncos.
Which is crazy, Jody. Right off the bat, I do not have an 87 on my roster, so we'll go number 87. Here we just have a clear out. They're almost empty, and the middle is open there. Great pitch and catch from Case Vandenbosch right in the chest of his tight end, and picking up the first.
Could be. Well, we'll get to that in a moment. Another deep pass here. Vandenbosch in and out of the hands of Devin Fitzgerald, but was a pass interference on Basha, it appears to be.
I like the deep shots early from Brophy there. Devin Fitzgerald able to escape over the secondary of Basha. Great ball from Case Vandenbosch. And the Basha defensive back, I'm going to say it right here as a former defensive back, Jody, a smart play instead of giving up the home run ball. Take the PI, take 15 yards, and live for another day.
That was Caden Smith, who is, we'll see him in quite a bit on that nickel package. Here's another look.
Followed by the 15-yard penalty.
You see, just draped over him a little bit. Devin Fitzgerald had a step or two. 2 home run shots in this first series from Brophy. I gotta love it. We could put Case in a rhythm, especially if he connects on one of them.
1st and 10 from the 47. And Vandenbosch this time the handoff to Harrison Chambers, and he gets all the way out. I think it's the first down, Cody. It's going to be close.
Yeah, these guys played last year, and you've mentioned that game, and I remember talking to Chris McDonald, the Basha head coach, and I said, who was your favorite player on that Brophy team? Jody, he mentioned Harrison Chambers. He's about 5'7", 180 pounds. He plays low to the ground, and he's so tough. I think his versatility and the way he finishes runs makes him a very good high school running back. He is one of my players to watch out for tonight.
Yeah. 1,400 career yards for Harrison, and of course this is senior year. 1st and 10 from the 37. Brophy now moving the ball, has some momentum. Pressure was on and incomplete, and that's what we're going to see. Dante Bruley putting the pressure on Case Vandenbosch right there.
And Dante Bruley is a kid. I give credit to you, Jody. Did a heck of a research pregame here. You said, Cody, watch out for this kid. It's a kid who missed all of last year, tore his knee like the 2nd series of his junior season, missed it all, coming off the edge hot outside, not picked up, and Dante Bruley put a punishment finishing hit on Case Vanden Bosch. He is a kid who was itching to get back here on the football field, making his presence felt early here.
Well, you know, Cody, my secret weapon when I go out to practice, like I did on Tuesday, talking to the parents.
There you go.
So his mom, his dad, enjoyed meeting them. 2nd and 10 now. Vanden Bosch, and the handoff to Chambers. Bruley was in on that tackle as well.
Chambers, the ball carrier. Tackled by number 10, Dante Bruley.
I have a feeling he's going to be all over the place. He also put on 25 pounds rehabbing that knee injury once he got healthy. As we take another look.
That's such a great play by him. As you see, he sheds the clock, has his arm extended, getting inside the tackle tight end. Down block there, shedding that, making the tackle for only 1 yard gain. And once again, Brophy's in a 3rd and long situation on their first drive.
Mark Dewerson also in on that tackle. 3rd and 9 now from the 36. So another 3rd down looking to be completed here for Case Vanden Bosch. And they have the completion. But is it enough for a first down? It might be short. That was to Brext. Well, is that Devin Fitzgerald on the catch? Take another look. And it was. Fitzgerald had a pretty good junior year, but could be a huge senior season for Devin. So 4th and 2 here. Chambers and Vanden Bosch looking to the sideline. Tight end in motion. Devin Fitzgerald crosses as well. A lot of communication going on. Reading that Basha defense. And it's going to be a handoff to Chambers, who gets past the first tackler. And I believe still short of the first down. He needed 2 yards, Cody.
That's a great job by the Basha front 7 there. Not getting outflanked. The force players playing outside in there, Jody. Harrison Chambers making the first couple guys miss, as we see here. But once again, I see Dante Bruley. And then we have number 4 for Basha. That's Cash Brock also coming in there, securing the tackle. And Basha with a first stand defensively as our high-powered offense makes their way out for their first series of the season.
So there you have it, a stop on 4th down. Basha's going to take over at their own 31-yard line. A chance to see Brody Veers, Cash Brock,
Number 8, Brody Veers.
and Jaden Baldwin, the other wide receiver to look for. But it's the running backs, Noah Roberts and Josh Gaines, that are the stars of this show. And the first handoff of the 2025 season for Basha is up the middle, and what a play by Joshua Gaines right there. And we knew we were going to see those two guys on the field together, Roberts and Gaines, and there it was.
All right, here we go, Jody. It is bowling ball season in the backfield for Basha Bears. Josh Gaines coming at you, the senior tailback, 5'11", 210, and he brings the thunder in that backfield. He is a north to south runner, and right there picking up 12 on his first carry of the season.
It is going to be a long night if they're able to run the ball like that. 1st and 10 from the 48 to Veers. This time the handoff again to Gaines, and he's stopped in there. Nice tackle by the Broncos. Is it Bastion Vanden Bosch?
Bastion Vanden Bosch and Henry Short in there for a nice tackle. That Brophy front, they have some inexperienced kids once again that they're on the JV team, but talking to Coach Joel and talking to defensive line coach Tony Tabor, who's a longtime head football coach in the state of Arizona, he likes this group. They haven't played a ton of games, but he likes the physicality of this front 7, and they're going to be big in tonight's game.
Yeah, Josh Finch-Logan in there to stop Gaines. All right, 2nd and 9 now, and the pitch, left side, and over on the sideline, a nice run by Jaden Baldwin, the wide receiver. He does get some touches in the run game.
Yeah, junior wide receiver who's got a ton of offers here. And that's just a little touch pass right in the front with that fly sweep motion action. They're going to the field side, picks up the edge, and now we have a 3rd and very manageable for the Bears.
This just shows you how many different guys you're going to see touching the ball for the Basha Bears. You've got Roberts, Gaines, you've got Jaden Baldwin. You can give it to Cash Brock. Another run play as it was 2nd and 9, looking like 3rd and no, it's going to be moving the chains on
the Broncos, number 11,
Stop made there by Basha and Vandenbosch.
And how about that, Jody? Play 4, and that's finally when Noah Roberts' name is called. And that's kind of alluding back to what you were saying, right? That Basha offense has so many guys that are threats. Noah Roberts picking up 6 on that 3rd and 1 to move the sticks.
1st and 10 from the 36. Veers back to throw for the first time. He's flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be, is he taken down? No, he pitches it to Roberts. So Brody Veers showing his mobility and creativity right there.
And I think we're going to have a penalty on Basha there. Either Brody was past the line of scrimmage when he tossed that, even though it was behind the pass, or, let's see, or a holding. Yeah, on the outside there, kind of looked like holding on Basha's tackles. Nice job by Brophy's defensive line, only bringing 4 on that pressure there, getting to Veers, and good coverage in the back half, too. Brody had nowhere to go.
That's what you really look at, is that secondary for Brophy. You know, Veers clearly wanted to take the ball downfield, couldn't find anyone. Then it's just survival mode. So, yeah, they're going to bring this back, and they'll be on the 46-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 20 for this offense. Veers back to pass, and he goes deep. He's looking for number 80 on the play. Again, they're trying to pick up some chunk yardage on 1st and 10. That's Christian Diaz, showing that depth in the wide receiver core.
Yeah, going slot on there towards the field side, corner into the field. Brody doing a good job of leading his receiver, but nice coverage on Brophy. And Brophy's secondary, Jody's one of their strongest units on their team. Multiple Division I football players back there. Deshaun Crane, who's committed to Montana State. You have James Pike, the senior safety, who's tremendous as well. That's one of the strong suits that Coach Jewell feels really, really comfortable heading into any matchup they play this season.
All right, so 2nd and 20 now. Veers, he's going to throw, and this time short, and it's not complete. He was looking for Cash Brock right there. And boy, the pressure has been on from Brophy. We talked about Brophy, maybe a little bit of jitters, and Basha looks a little bit discombobulated here on their first drive.
And I got to give credit to the Broncos defense, too, because they're just running a slip screen underneath, almost rocket-like, and Deshaun Crane, who was matched up on a receiver, sheds one of those blocks to make it a little discomfortable there for Brody Veers when he was putting the placement on that ball. And 3rd and forever now.
So what's Chris McDonald going to dial up here? We'll find out. Got 2 receivers each side, and he's going to go short to Cash Brock, who drops the ball. You don't see that a lot. Last year, Brock, 30 catches, 401 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's going to Colorado State, but couldn't make the play right there.
Yeah, and Brophy was playing everything in front of him, so that cross mesh there when it's 3rd and 20, it doesn't matter, especially if you're not in a 0-1 coverage. Playing everything in front of them. They had spot zone sitting outside, too, even if you did catch that. That's a great stand by the Brophy defense right there.
It really is. Brophy doing a job, and it's going to lead to a punt from the Basha Bears. We are still scoreless here with 6:31 left in the first quarter. Let's go, Ron. Defense winning the day so far, Cody.
It 100% is going back-to-back here, and I love it.
The kick is off. There was some pressure there, and it'll be taken inside the 5, but out by Ryder Noche, the speedy Ryder Noche. And with that, we'll take a break. 6:29 left in the first quarter.
Beyond game day, you'll find the Fiesta Sports Foundation working year-round to improve Arizona communities. In education, in youth programs, in sports. With more than 1 million Arizonans supported in 2024 and over 32 million in charitable donations since 2011. With your help, we'll go above and beyond in everything we do. Fiesta Sports Foundation. Our season never ends.
Nothing brings people and families together faster than sharing food. Great friends, memories, and good times. For over 2 generations, Valle Luna has served you the food that brought you together, and we've been proud to do so. We're fortunate to have been a part of so many stories, gatherings, and traditions that continue on today and will tomorrow. Start a tradition of your own. Come taste authentic Sonoran-style food with your family and friends here with us at Valle Luna.
And we're back. A run play has the Broncos at 2nd and 8 from their own 18. It's Vanden Bosch back to throw. Pump fake, and he throws, and it is complete. Basha's defense swarming Devin Fitzgerald, who makes the catch.
And you could tell early here, Jody, that the connection between Case Vanden Bosch and Devin Fitzgerald has only increased, especially with Dalen Sharper not playing out there. He's going to be target 1, 2, and maybe 3 here in this game. He's already had 4 targets, 3 catches midway through the first quarter.
We talked about it. Devin Fitzgerald going to Notre Dame. Dalen Sharper going to Stanford. Donovan McNabb with a ton of offers. But, yeah, Devin is going to step into that role nicely. And there's Vanden Bosch play action, rolling to his right, incomplete for Fitzgerald. Again, I think you're right, Cody. Going to be a lot of targets for Devin here tonight. That on 3rd and 4 is going to be a Brophy punt. I thought this was going to be ruled by offense early, but I'm loving the play of these 2 defenses.
How about this? So much talk in our pregame about the offense, but how about these defensive guys? And that was a tremendous job by the flat, strong safety player, Caden Smith, who's a senior safety for Basha. They're sitting in the flat, getting just enough drop and tipping that pass because Devin Fitzgerald was open. Nice play by the senior safety.
And now to punt is Jack Carson. Kick is off, and it's a fair catch from Basha as we'll get it going for the Bears on offense. This Saturday, the pressure's building for drivers fighting to clinch a playoff spot in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Don't miss a single lap of the excitement as CW7 takes you live to Portland and its twisting road course. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Coverage begins at 4 on CW7 Arizona. So Basha will set up 1st and 10 on the 42-yard line. And that was Caden Williams who took that kick for the fair catch. So 4:47 in, I feel like it is a week 1 game right now. You're seeing some kinks being worked out.
It is a week 1 game. I know the officials, too, when they came out, they were talking to the coaches just about new changes this season. Have to remember, there's so many different things that the AIA regulates and changes throughout the year. So they're communicating both of that here. Hey, there's true high school football experience here. We're broadcasting from the stands. I don't know about you. My vision's bad anyway, so it's dark over here.
One of my belongings is now at the bottom of the bleachers.
I absolutely love it. It's somewhere there, but
hopefully nothing
too crazy. Yeah, there you go. We got our backpacks up here. But going back to your comment about the offenses and the defenses here, I think it's always, in my experience with football, especially looking at top teams, the defense is always just a little bit more ahead. And when you look at Basha's defense, you already said it. The only player they really graduated was Blue Dantzler. Now, it is a heck of a player to graduate. He went over to Oregon State, and he was a superstar edge rusher. But there's so much talent, even on both sides where Brophy did graduate 5 or 6 starters there, where guys in pivotal positions that are just superstars and studs. And with that, that's just naturally the offenses are, I think, going to be a little weaker. But also the penalties. Basha got kind of crushed with penalties on that first drive. Let's see if they're looking to clean that up here in Series 2.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen a lot of communication, especially for these offenses at the line of scrimmage as they are sometimes changing the play. But here we go with Basha. 4:47 left in the first and 10. And veers the handoff to Gaines, and it is a big gain. That's a first down and a couple more from Josh Gaines.
How about that? They put Noah Roberts in motion there, fly sweep action, and then they counter with Josh Gaines up the gut, punching it in. 2 carries for about 24 yards now for the senior tailback.
He was impressive last year as a compliment to Noah Roberts, but it certainly helps Roberts, who had over 1,000 yards last year, but he doesn't have to carry the load this year, and that's always nice. Looks like Brophy, timeout Bears, I should say, as Brophy defenders come to the sideline.
And that's another thing that switched too. You mentioned in the pregame, Chris McDonald's calling the plays, and that's nothing new to Coach McDonald. He's been coaching the state of Arizona for a very long time. Previous stop was at Maricopa High School before he came over to Basha in 2018. But it is something now. So he hasn't called a game offensively. Ryan Felker was his offense coordinator last year. He was a longtime head football coach at MCC, Mesa Community College. So that's a transition, right? I mean, this is one thing about calling it at practice all the time, but you're getting into a game situation here where you just cannot replicate. Like you said, first game jitters. There's a lot of players going in and out. That's one of the only negative aspects of having 12 receivers that can play anytime. There's a lot of in and out.
Yeah, and of course for NFL fans, you get preseason, and even the starters, they get a couple reps. This is fresh for these guys, and they're high school players. So now we return to action, and again, 1st and 10 from the 47. Roberts and Gaines both out there, and it is going to be handoff again to Gaines. They'll stick with what's working. And it's another first down for the Basha Bears.
I love his running style so much, Jody, because even that, it's not too much dancing. It's 1-2 cut, and he's going to get north, doing a good job of staying patient, following that counter block there. And every time he's touched the block, it seems like he's picking up a first down. Josh Gaines moving the sticks once again on this drive.
Yeah, he's a patient runner, and then they've got some big bodies in that offensive line, so... 1st and 10 from the 37 after the 10-yard pickup. Diaz in motion. Veers looks to pass. It's short to Noah Roberts. He turns on the jets and gets to the sideline. We've got a flag on that play.
Yeah, it's either they might call holding on Barry Adams here, or I get to say it's a great block. So we'll see what the call is here. But he might have
flattened somebody.
Yeah, he might have gotten a little bit of jersey inside. We'll hear what the call is. You know what I like, Jody? I like the little gnat sound from the coaching staffs too. It's adding a nice little touch to the broadcast there. And it is holding.
Offense. 10-yard penalty enforcement from the spot of the foul will result in replay.
You know, I like that call by Coach Mack, though. It's a situation where it's just a quick little swing pass. Looked like it was behind the line of scrimmage, too, which would have counted as a run for Noah. But just nice, get a one-on-one stock block with your tight end there. Just kind of hooked him a little bit. But it was one of the keys of the game. Get your athletes the ball in space. You have a kid who runs a 10-800 meter. He is lightning quick. Get him the rock in different scenarios.
Nothing coaches hate more, though, than penalties. And this will push him back to a 1st and 16 from the 43. Veers and the handoff to Roberts, and it's a short gain as the Bears can't get much there. Brophy stepping up big with that O-line and the support from the linebacking core.
Yeah, Brophy's defensive lineman here, 6'4", 290-pound senior Josh Finch-Logan is doing a great job of shedding the block. It's the second time he's done this. Shedding that block from that interior guard and stuffing the running back for very minimal gain. The senior defensive lineman having a good showing here in the first quarter.
Yeah. Number 92, Josh Finch-Logan. You're right, Cody. He's done a great job in there. So 2nd and 15 after just a gain of 1 from Roberts. About 2.5 minutes left in this first quarter. And Gaines is hit, but it's a pass play. And I think everyone was faked out on that one. It's going to be a flag on the Broncos as Cash Brock was heading to the end zone.
Incomplete pass intended for Cash Brock.
And it's an incomplete pass with a flag.
Yeah, that's going to be pass interference on the back half here. Brody, he saw him quick. Cash Brock just got about 5 yards behind that secondary. They're having their eyes just a little bit too much on that play action. I don't think Brody was able to set his feet completely. He just wanted the home run hit, so a little bit underthrown. The good thing, though, about an underthrown pass like that, it creates pass interference situations. And so nice job by Cash Brock, and that kind of showed you the speed of the senior wide receiver who is committed to Colorado State, where kind of just that quick burst, that little hesitation on the play action, quick burst, and able to draw the pass interference.
Yeah, Cash Brock is, along with Jaden Baldwin, the two top wide receivers, and that created a penalty, and now it's 1st and 10 from the 27. Veers throws and hits Roberts. You said it, Cody. He's going to be involved in the passing game, and there it is.
Yeah, and so they ran that counter action, but instead of giving the ball to Josh Gaines, it's a pull on Brody Veers, and Noah Roberts works in the flat. Easy pitch and catch for the senior quarterback, Brody Veers, and Roberts picking up about 6 on 1st down.
You know, Brody Veers, he was the MVP of that quarterback event out at McClintock High back in June, and some of the talk was like, look, if this guy, he's going to North Texas, so exciting for him, but if he was 6'3", he might have like 20 offers, right?
Yeah, it's crazy when we talk the tangible game in college football recruiting. Neither fair nor here, but it is what it is.
But he operates this offense well. 2nd and 2, and gets it off and complete, and out to Cash Brock on the sideline before he was out of bounds.
All right, here we go. It gets a highlight. One of the newest players for the Basha Bears, their right tackle, big Dejon Yarborough, who's 6'5", 340 pounds. Nice job at right tackle, buying time for Brody there on that little 3 to 5 step drop, and he's pummeling the edge rusher coming up the side.
I mean, I saw him out at practice the other day, and so he moved from Minnesota, and I said to Coach McDonald, how's that going with the Heat? And he said, he seems okay, but it is an adjustment, that's for sure. 1st and goal, 10 yards to go. The handoff to Gaines, and he gets some yardage and more, pushing his way into the end zone. And it's a touchdown for the Basha Bears. Josh Gaines with the first score of this matchup. 6-0 Basha.
Oh, what do we call it? We call it bulldozing season for the Basha backfield. Josh Gaines just rumbling and stumbling through would-be tacklers. Look at the big boys carrying him in to the end zone right there, and he gets to celebrate with his teammates. The senior tailback rumbles his way in for 6.
Such an impressive run. You mentioned that style that he runs with, following his blocks, and so tough, stays on his feet. And now Mikey Barth is on for the point after attempt, and it is good. 7-0 Basha. So Basha strikes first here on Ray Lang Field as we...
It's just keeping it simple, too, Jody. I think they ran that inside zone to see if they pull it on. No, don't pull it all. Just a couple of deep blocks. You see that initial cut, though. There was some pressure in the A-gap. Just a little quick hesitation, and then, bam, running right through, continuously running his feet through contact until he found Pater. It's a heck of a run from Josh Gaines.
Yeah, Julian Ferrari and a few other tacklers were there, but could not bring him down. So Basha, they get on the board. Chris McDonald had his team aided by, of course, that pass interference penalty. That's something that when you show off some of the speed of these wideouts heading toward the end zone, it's going to happen at times. The DBs, it's all about the technique.
I think that's the comfortable drive that Chris McDonald was looking for, too, right? We're just balanced. We can do what we do with Josh Gaines and Noah Roberts. We can take that deep shot when we need it off a play action, but just picking up positive yards every single play. Basha's offense can do that, and if they do that, that is a tough offense to stop.
So with 2:08 left in this first quarter, Basha's going to kick it off. And another touchback. So Brophy will take over on their own 20, looking to respond.
Yeah, and this is a big series for Case Vandenbosch. Air Force commit Case Vandenbosch, dual threat quarterback. Want to see him utilize his legs a little bit. I mean, they've done a good job of putting him in some play action situations where he's rolling out of the pocket, kind of surveying the field with your eyes. I think this is a situation now where Case can do some dual threat ability. We've seen some of those late playoff games last year where he was able to do that, maybe some quarterback assigned runs, quarterback powers and stuff like that. And maybe we see that here on the stretch.
Yeah, he was a big part of why the game was a 3-point game last October between these two teams. He was on fire in that second half. And here he is, back to throw, and the catch is made on the near sideline. Could not see who came up with it, but it is Devin Fitzgerald. Again, he's going to be the top target a lot of the season, but with Dalen Sharper out tonight, again, he goes back to Fitz.
Yeah, 6 targets now for Devin, but it's not just deep routes, right? We've seen him lining up in the slot, doing some quick arrows, outside wide and X, backside slants. I like what they're doing, a wide array of routes to get Devin open.
We've also got Donovan McNabb Jr. out there, the wide receiver position. He is a junior. Vandenbosch looks and throws, and looks like it was incomplete for the tight end. 87, John Krostowski. Can't come up with it, so still second down.
And these safeties for Basha, they absolutely fly to these would-be receivers. As we see, senior safety Caden Williams just hip pocket of that out route there and making it no room for Case Vandenbosch to try to fit that ball in.
The 3rd and 7 we saw in the very first drive, they were able to convert.
Who's on?
Fitzgerald lined up in the slot. And Vandenbosch, he's looking for him, and it is picked off by Caden Williams. You were just talking about him, Cody. What a play by Caden Williams, the senior safety. He is so versatile.
Yeah, playing too deep there, almost like a cover 5 look, and he is just spying over the slot receiver. They're trying to go corner to the boundary with Devin Fitzgerald, and Caden Williams is just sitting right there. High points the pass, gets his feet in. First turnover of the game comes from Caden Williams in that Basha secondary.
Yeah, Caden Williams, you know, Chris McDonald talked about that he's the leader of that defensive backfield. You've got Eli Kramer-Cronin that does it for the front 7 from that middle linebacker position. But Caden Williams, he is so valuable to this team. And they have a lot of DBs that play back there, but he's right in the middle of it all. So Brody Veers in the offense, they take over at the 35-yard line. And Veers gets pressured, is able to pitch it out. But boy, he got leveled there by the Bears defender, or I should say the Broncos defender.
And that was Deshaun Crine coming off that boundary corner on a corner blitz. That was Brody's backside there as he was looking at the swing route towards the field. And Deshaun Crine put a lick there as we coming off that shortage. Bam! Brody getting the ball out. And nice job by Brophy's defense to rally, too. That was number 3, Braxton Tate. He's a 5'9" linebacker, breaking down and making the tackle.
He was shot out of a cannon, was Deshaun Crine on that play. So 2nd and 8. Roberts and Gaines on either side of Veers, and the handoff goes to Gaines, and again, a tough run on the inside, now takes it out, but stopped there by Crine again, who makes the stop short of the first down.
I think that's their most dangerous formation right there. They're split back with Josh Gaines and Noah Roberts. They're able to do so much, and it's not really a true play action with Noah going outside, but as a linebacker, your eyes are naturally going to have to see that, and I think just that quick hesitation there, they're not able to get a true read step, and they're already starting in the back half with Josh Gaines just rumbling, going north to south, and I think Coach McDonald has something there with that play, Jody.
Yeah, it's such a wonderful thing for a coach to have 2 running backs of the caliber of Noah Roberts and Joshua Gaines here at the high school level. So, new set of downs from the 23. Veers back to pass, looking and finding Jaden Baldwin. There's a flag that flies in the air, and Baldwin is down to the 5-yard line.
Here's pass played to number 2, Jaden Baldwin. Back by number 21, Deshaun Crine.
Crine there again as the defender.
And just a sideline warning there on Brophy. We're going to probably see those every single broadcast there, Jody, but I like this. Brody rolling left, and there's the guy right there. Big time Jaden Baldwin finding the middle, setting his feet, just finding space as a receiver, finding space in a soft zone is very, very good. And Jaden Baldwin able to pick some yak after that catch, too.
His dad, John, played in the NFL, and he went to Pitt, went to college at Pitt. Jaden has an offer from there as well, and a few other offers. So 1st and goal from the 9, and some momentum here. That was a nice catch in kind of a zone, what looked like a zone defense. 18 seconds left in the quarter. Veers takes it himself, finds some room, and in for the touchdown. Brody Veers.
A great read from Brody there. Defense comes flying upfield to try to stop Noah Roberts on that outside zone. Going to get a good look at it here from our camera crew right there. Makes one guy miss, gets the grain, and heads into the end zone for 6.
He is so dangerous as a runner. You know, it's not easy to replaced Damon Williams, who is now at Washington. But Brody Veers did a nice job last year throwing for almost 3,000 yards and showing enough running ability to keep people honest. And the kick is up and good by Mikey Barth, 14-0. Basha leads.
I was wondering how long it would take us to throw the Damon Williams name out there. And Jody, I was planning on saying at least 10 times. So we're at 1. I got to hit 9 more. He was so special. Damon Williams is one of the best players, not just quarterbacks, one of the best players I've ever seen at the high school level. And you're exactly correct. I remember talking to Coach McDonald, and there's so much talk, okay, who's going to play quarterback, right? Because Damon played 4 years at the high school level at quarterback, started every single game. And he said, guys, we're fine. We have Brody Veers. And yeah, he was, I'm going to say unknown. He was just playing behind Damon. He came into that position with stride, and he became a leader immediately. Those Basha players, they love him, not just as a quarterback, but as a teammate. That leadership shows throughout. And then going on that drive, that's an experienced player pulling into that play there, cutting against the grain, finding it for 6. Smart football player, tremendous athlete.
Yeah, well put. I mean, what he's done is exciting coming in. Now it's his senior year. I mentioned earlier, North Texas is where he's headed for college. And so Basha with the 2-touchdown lead here with 13 seconds left, and the big leg of Mikey Barth. So Brophy will take over, but at this point, you look at Brophy and what they've done offensively. You've seen some flashes, but Jason Jewell and Tony Cotton, they're looking for a consistent drive now, right?
Yeah, and I think it's okay to still run the rock. I mean, we're still in the first quarter.
Yeah.
It's Harrison Chambers had a couple really nice runs in series number 2. I'd like to get him going. I think the key is now to get and find a second and third and manageable. They've had 3 or 4 third downs where they've been 10 or longer.
So from the 20, Vanden Bosch takes over, takes the snap, and play action. He's going to take it himself. This is Case running the ball, getting out to the sideline. A few yards short of the first down, but there you go, Cody, with Case Vanden Bosch and the threat of the run.
Yeah, there's our dual threat ability there as he did a little read option, and he gets about 8 yards on first down.
Stay with us. We'll take a short break here as the second quarter is about to begin, and the Brophy Broncos have the ball. But here's another look at the first touchdown from Joshua Gaines, taking it in the end zone. The score now 14-0. Stay with us here on CW7 Arizona. It is the Fiesta Bowl High School Showdown.
Hurt in an accident with an 18-wheeler? 18-wheelers cause big damage. Weighing up to 80,000 pounds, their impact is absolutely devastating. And these cases are complex, involving federal laws and powerful legal teams protecting trucking companies. Who's protecting you? Just recently, Sweet James Accident Attorneys recovered $10 million for a client injured in a trucking accident. Don't let the insurance companies take you for a ride. Call Sweet James for a free consultation. We are your big truck accident attorneys.
I'm Doug Hopkins, and I want to buy your house. Don't be fooled by other companies promising more for your home. It sounds great, but after the inspection, they charge for repairs, adjustments, and fees. Do the math. No inspection, fees, or repairs. Visit DougHopkins.com or call 1-800-SELL-NOW.
Presenting a $500 check here to Josh and school.
Here at CW7 Arizona, we do CW7 Arizona gives back, and I have Curtis with me and Basha's AD. And you have a big announcement, correct?
Yeah, so we've got Eric here from Basha High School, the athletic director, and I'm proud to present him with a check for $500. Thank you, Eric. We really appreciate your support.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys putting a spotlight on our student athletes. Gracious, thank you to Brophy for having us here tonight. Big shout out to their AD, Josh, and Steve for having us, and we appreciate you guys shining a spotlight on our students today. So we appreciate you guys a whole bunch. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much. Back to you guys at the booth.
Thanks so much, Lexi. We appreciate it. Great job, of course, CW7 Arizona. giving back, and we appreciate, again, the collaboration. Fiesta Bowl, CW7, Sports 360 AZ. It's taken a lot of hard work to put this together, and we love it. So here we go with the second quarter action, and we've got 2nd and 3 from the 27. Van Bosch, a little bit of a high snap there. Chambers brought down in the backfield by a host of Basha Bear defenders.
That was big 4-5 there. Tuatelli, defensive lineman, 6 foot, 218, and Tuatelli. There we go. Yeah, it's pronounced right. Look at that. 1 for 1 there. There we go on my color analyst last name. Working here with the high school resident. Yeah, Tuatelli coming off the block there and stopping the Brophy running back for about 2-yard loss. And here we go, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Harrison Chambers found no room there. So now 3rd and 6 for Brophy. And we get a whistle. Timeout Broncos. And tonight's game is presented by Precision Aging Network, closing the gap between cognitive health span and human lifespan. So the Broncos going to take a time here, and at 3rd and 6, again, it's just a 2-score game, Cody. Like you said, you can still run the ball here, but I feel like there's a little bit of urgency here for the Broncos on offense.
Well, you got to give the fans some excitement here, right? I mean, we were looking at the pep rally this morning, which, by the way, Lexi did a tremendous job today out there, getting really to know Jason Jewell in person, and then the whole Brophy team. These fans have been so excited all day, and that's one of the very special parts about Arizona high school football. And like you were talking about, getting to talk to the parents of a lot of these kids and the communities here. Basha, I look across the stands here as we're in the home side, and Basha stands are packed.
Yeah.
You know, they brought about 50 cheerleaders in their band as well, and throughout the entire concourse of this football game, it is packed. So Brophy offensively here, 3rd and 6. Let's see what they dialed up coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, and you played high school football, Cody. These guys are excited. They're amped up for this. They're probably settling now now that we are in the second quarter. And Van Bosch rolls to his left. The pressure coming. He was able to get the pass off toward the middle of the field. It was kind of a little bit chaotic in the backfield as Case was dodging some defenders who were flying over that offensive line. Fitzgerald seeing a lot of contact there.
Yeah, as a right-handed quarterback trying to roll left, that is one of the hardest plays for a right-handed quarterback. And how about Caden Smith? We already said his name a couple times. The senior strong safety comes flying from the field side on a safety blitz and pummels Van Bosch after he delivers that football. The Basha secondary right now, Jody, is absolutely flying to the football here tonight.
Yeah, and they are making sure they do one thing, and that's blanket Devin Fitzgerald to make it tough sledding for the top target on the Broncos offense. So, punt. Oh, it's blocked by Basha. And that's Percy Knox. That's Trey Knox with the punt block. What a play on special teams for the Bears.
Trey Knox III, one of the best multi-sport athletes on the campus of Basha High School, as we get a replay here from our aerial look. Just times it perfectly, untouched, puts both arms out, and a great punt block there from the senior corner, showing his speed and athleticism. Just the timing of that, Jody, was perfect, and he gives the Basha the ball inside the red zone.
He went right by the up man, and just like that, Basha takes over. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. So huge momentum swing there to start this second quarter. And the give to Josh Gaines, and he is brought down after a couple-yard gain. James Pike looked like he was in on that stop.
Now, this is a huge possession for the Brophy defense. Somehow they can hold Basha to a field goal here. It'd be a major win. And actually, looking at the sticks, Jody, it looks like Basha can get a first down. It looks like that first down's either at the 2 or 1 yard line. This is a huge, huge series right here for both sides.
Yeah, so it's 2nd and 7 2nd from the 8. And got another whistle. It's going to be a timeout for the Bears here as they are going to talk it over with 10:20 left in the second quarter. But yeah, like you said, the Broncos, they've done some good things on defense. Big number 92. You know, Joshua Finch-Logan, he is going to be one of the guys that can make a real difference here on the goal line.
Yeah, and I think it's a situation, too, where Basha, they've already used all 3 timeouts in their first half, Jody, but I don't mind that at all. Chris McDonald wants to get this play call exactly right in the situation that he has here, so it's all good.
Following tonight's game, be sure to stick around for Police 24/7 only on CW Arizona. Ride shotgun with officers for an inside look at law enforcement on the job. It's unexpected, intense, raw, and always unforgettable. Police 24/7 tonight on CW7 Arizona.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever done a ride-along?
I have not, but I'm really dating myself. I'm from South Florida, and the show Cops, which was the original, that was when I was a kid.
Love that.
Fears takes the snap, the handoff to Noah Roberts, and is he going to make it into the end? No, he's short of the goal line, but took a few tacklers with him.
How about Noah Roberts there? He said, hey, enough talk of just Josh Gaines in the booth there. It's that toss jet sweep, which actually counts as a pass play, and he trucks the first would-be tackler, running his feet through contact as Basha gets a 3rd and inches now. Looks like inside the 3.
Mikey Salazar-Rivera among the tacklers there who were able to keep Roberts out of the end zone, but he is down at the 2-yard line, so it's 3rd and 1 from the 2. Fears to Roberts, and he heads over to some open space on the right side. He's in for the touchdown. Noah Roberts' first score of the season, and it makes it a 20-0 game for Basha.
The speed and elusiveness here. Watch this jump cut, bam. And then the speed to the outside as he goes untouched and high steps his way into this end zone. One of the best football players in the entire state of Arizona, fighting pay dirt for 6 for Basha. Now Basha with 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half of this game.
I'm going to date myself a little more. I feel like we're watching some thunder and lightning work done. And not that Josh Gaines is Mike Allstott, but you're getting 2 very talented backs here coming at the Brophy Broncos as Mikey Barth puts it through 21-0 with 9:31 left in the second quarter here on CW7. It's the Fiesta Bowl High School Showdown. We're back in a moment.
Keep summer going with Nissan. Named #1 in new vehicle quality by J.D. Power. Hurry in today. Get 0% APR for 60 months on select popular models.
In a world where accidents happen and insurance companies deny claims, a hero rises to get justice for the injured. Sweet James. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, Sweet James will make insurance companies pay.
Are you through? I'm just warming up.
From the firm that's won over $1 billion for their clients comes Sweet Justice with Sweet James.
You pay nothing until we win.
Keep summer going with Nissan. Named #1 in new vehicle quality by J.D. Power. Hurry in today. Get 0% APR for 60 months on select popular models.
A showdown in Portland for the final postseason slots.
The race to the playoffs is on.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Saturday at 4 on CW7 Arizona.
Rushing touchdown of the night for the Basha Bears, but Cody Cameron, it's been 3 different rushers. Josh Gaines, Brody Veers, and now Noah Roberts, who was a phenom when he came in as a freshman, and he's still doing it as a junior.
And how about the right side of the offensive line is one of the kids that we already highlighted as well. Dejon Yarborough, who just came in from Minnesota, 6'5", 340, and tight end junior, 6'3", 230. Hugo Chamberlain just stuffing that right side, driving both the defenders into halfway into the end zone there. Noah was able to bounce out and score for 6. That Basha offensive line, coached by Tim Kelly, a long-time football coach in the state of Arizona. He used to coach at Corona del Sol.
That's right.
In the early 2010s there, won a state title with the Aztecs. He does an amazing job. Another thing Basha has, Jody, they have so many coaches who are on campus, and that is important at any level there. They are with those kids hands-on. They do such a tremendous job coaching, and they were up 21-0 after about 14 minutes of gameplay here tonight.
For those that don't know, I'm an Aztec mom.
There you go.
So that's why there was a little love there for Tim Kelly and the Aztecs, who will be in action tomorrow night. And the kick. It's automatic for Mikey Barth. It's in the end zone again, and the Broncos will take over at the 20. So far, they've not been able to put points on the board, but Cody, we know this offense is better than that. They do have a young offensive line, but so much talent from the quarterback, Case Vandenbosch, to the receiving core, and the running back, Harrison Chambers. So let's see what they can cook up here with 9.5 minutes left in the half.
I think it's about getting into a rhythm. We've seen that Basha offense get into a rhythm with their run game. I'd like to see Brophy try to accomplish that here in the second quarter.
And Nabashi's going to run it himself. Not much there, though, as that right side of the Bears D-line and Eli Kramer-Cronin, that middle linebacker that's headed to New Mexico, plugging up that side where Case was trying to run. Case did so much on his own last year in the run game. Had Logan Powell on that left side to run behind.
Yeah, had Logan Powell, had Anderson Kopp. I mean, the names go on and on. Guys who are playing at the next level on Saturdays. Eli Cronin, great read step, stepping up, setting the block, and stuffing Vandenbosch for only a 1-yard gain.
2nd and 9 from the 21, and it's Chambers. Doesn't get much there. Brought down by a Bears defender, and that is going to be Caden Smith.
Yeah, the strong safety's doing such a good job in the box. They understand their role, playing that force flat defender, not getting flanked out, coming up and securing tackles. These Basha secondary players do a great job of running their feet through contact, and they do it with speed, and they do it with violence, too. They're really well coached in the back half there.
So many DBs, and Mason Lewis will be joining them. The Cal commit will come in after the 5 games he sits because he transferred from Castile. Vandenbosch back to pass, and looking downfield, and a wide open Donovan McNabb Jr., but he can't haul it in. And you can see the frustration from the junior wide receiver. Here's another look.
Yeah, a great job by Vandenbosch, too, eluding pressure, stepping up. I don't know if the pass came out of his hands there really effectively. Great job, great shot by our camera crew there. But nonetheless, put the ball on target, was able to complete the pass. I like the elusiveness, though, from Case there, and surveying the field with his eyes downfield, giving his wide receiver a chance to get open.
Yeah, he's trying to make a big play there. And McNabb Jr. elevated on that depth chart with Galen Sharper out for this game with a lower body injury. The punt gets off, and it's going to roll and get down to about, takes a big Bronco roll to about the 24-yard line.
And we might have a penalty here. This is either going to be running into the kicker or roughing the kicker here, Jody. So we'll see what the white hat has.
7:50 left in the second quarter, and I think
it is roughing the kicker.
Roughing the kicker. Tonight's halftime will be brought to you by Talk Now AZ. Start a conversation about drugs and alcohol with your kids now. Talk, they hear you. Well, that's a costly penalty for sure, Cody.
I was going to say, talking about big breaks, that is the break the Brophy offense needed there. Something to rejuvenate this offense who really hasn't got past the 50 until that second series of the first quarter. And there's a great time on this 1st and 10. Yeah, mix in some play action. I think they do a really good job of rolling Case out on some of that. But let's get Harrison Chambers going. This is a player that we've talked about multiple times on this broadcast of being one of the pillars in the backfield here and getting this kid running north to south.
Yeah, last year for Chambers, 112 carries, 688 yards, over 1,400 yards over the last 2 seasons. So 1st and 10 from the 34. Van Bosch looking to his right to Fitzgerald, who makes a nice move up over the top. He elevated after that catch, trying to get an extra yard or 2.
Quick screen there to Fitz on the field side, and I think he saw a wall of Bear defenders and said, you know what, they just got to go over all of them. Look at that.
I don't know if he elevated or got elevated. He jumps on up. Boy, shades of dad there. Larry Fitzgerald fighting for that extra yard. So it's 2nd and 5, but a nice gain for an offense that's been struggling. Can they turn it into a first down here? With 7:13 left in the 2nd quarter. Quick pass now. And that goes to Jason Kubica. And a flag flies. A lot of contact in there.
Oh, extracurricular action there after the play, but there's a nice pitch and catch. Just a quick hitch to that field side. Kubica doing a good job of breaking down, coming back to the football on that curl route. Moving the sticks, plus it looks like another 15 tacked on for a personal foul penalty on the Bears. And so now Brophy moves past the 50-yard line since, I believe, series number 2, Jody.
It's a physical secondary for the Basha Bears, but they have to be smart as well. It is going to bring the Broncos downfield and into Bears territory. So a huge opportunity here. Van den Bosch is flanked by Chambers, and it looks like we're going to take a timeout. So we've talked a little bit about it, Cody, but there's Larry Fitzgerald, dad of Devin Fitzgerald. It looks like Kelvin Beachum is next to him on his right, who is the current O-lineman for the Arizona Cardinals. Kyle Van den Bosch, by the way, has about 5 different hats with the Brophy Broncos, so he's on the sideline, but he is the dad of Case and Bastion. Kyle played a long time in the NFL. But Larry, Hall of Fame, anytime now. He's always, it doesn't miss a game with his son. It's just been cool to watch as his son is now in his senior season.
Yeah, great person. How I know Larry, I was working at Paradise Valley Country Club in 2017, Jody, and he was a big pickleball player. Great golfer, but also played pickleball, and his love for photography. I remember one of my first conversations was his love for travel and photography. It's always cool to see him out here, and a ton of stars out here tonight for this game.
Well, it was an honor to cover him with the Cardinals, and like you said, great guy. And you know, now he's a football parent, right? And we know how that can be, or I know how that can be. It's always so exciting and fun to watch your kid go out there and shine. So here we have it, 1st and 10 from the 39. Van den Bosch going deep and almost picked off. A flag comes in on the play, and again they are blanketing Devin Fitzgerald.
We're going to have another pass interference or illegal contact there in the secondary.
Little fist pump there from Devin.
Yeah, Cash Brock there getting deep. Instead of turning with the hips, he kind of just trying to press Fitzgerald there. And Case, once again, kind of taking a couple home run shots there. He's going to connect on one of these and could get into a groove. But I guess the second or third pass interference on this Basha secondary.
He's got some protection there. Defender came in. He did get some pressure.
That's a complete match zone bracket there, and you're seeing he's zone or it's man turning into the receiver instead of just running with him hip to hip. It kind of just presses them in. So yeah,
like multiple fouls on that play.
Roughing the passer on the defense.
It was a roughing the passer call. All right, I wasn't sure on that one because Case Van den Bosch did get pushed down after the ball was released. So Brophy taking advantage of some of that physicality again, and it's been, as much as they've made a couple plays, they've been bolstered by these penalties on the drive, down now at the 24-yard line. Van den Bosch looks and gets hit, holds onto the ball, and swarmed now by Basha. Hammer Cronin once again, causing havoc for Case.
Yeah, a couple of defensive ends there crashing down. One of them being Dante Bruley, actually almost forced the fumble there, getting his right paw on the football. Case able to regain possession, but unfortunately steps right up to one of the best inside linebackers in the state of Arizona, Eli Cronin, who is verbally committed to New Mexico, had that this summer. Heck of a tackler for the Bears there at the linebacker spot.
Had a huge year last year, and like you said, Dante Bruley in on that as well. At 6'2", 230, he is a load to try to block. 2nd and 11 now after a 1-yard loss. Case takes it up the middle. Not a lot of room as Bruley and Anatoni Tahi.
Wrapped up by number 91,
Anatoni Tahi making the stop there in the middle. This is a young man that you spoke to at Media Day. He is tough to handle for any offense.
All preseason, all-state team on the Fiesta Bowl this year. Tony Tahi, only a junior, 6'2", 320, a couple offers, one of those being, I believe, the NAU Lumberjacks, which I always like. I am an NAU Lung, a short plug there.
There you go.
He is a monster. I remember him coming in his freshman year, was also one of the starters, along with Noah Roberts and Jake Hildebrand 2 years ago as freshmen.
And this D-line is experienced, facing a younger O-line for Brophy, as Van den Bosch throws on 3rd and 10, going deep, and is it hauled in? It is not, but it was intended for Alex Buggy. Or Jason Kubica, check that. Jason Kubica was the intended receiver downfield, and Caden Williams was there for Basha.
And this is a tremendous play by Caden Williams, because it's a great ball by Van den Bosch, allows his wide receiver to try to high point it, and he plays through the hands. He high points it with the wide receiver, plays through the hands, and disrupts that for a pass breakup. That's a great job by the senior defensive back, Caden Williams.
Hugo Chamberlain set to hold for the field goal. It's a good field goal for Brophy. They are on the board. Jack Carson.
No good.
No good.
Wide right.
I think I was influenced a little bit by the fans over here, but...
And I will say...
Thank you for that, Cody.
I will say my broadcast partner has a huge pole right in front of her. Hey, you cannot see... Hey, we are living the true high school fan experience here. I look good, but just wide right. So a situation where Brophy's just looking to put points on the board, and they can't come away with it. Another big stop by the Basha defense.
Yeah, certainly frustrating for this Brophy team right now. They got to regroup. 4:55 left in the half. Still a lot of time in this game. Veers the handoff to Noah Roberts as they bring it out from the 20-yard line on 1st and 10. James Pike making the stop there.
6 foot, 185-pound defensive back. Playing safety, James Pike. He's another one of those players. He has an NAU and a Drake offer. Tremendous student in the classroom. He is big time.
Football in his family as well. I got to talk to his mom before the game, Nicole Bidwell. Of course, one of the longest running football franchises in the NFL. Vice president with the Cardinals, and her son James. And now we're seeing for Basha, Jake Rogers in at quarterback. So we'll have to check on Brody Veers. And the snap didn't make it to him. He had to fall on it. So a lot of moving parts right now with this Basha offense.
This is big. This is a big development here. Jake Rogers coming into the series. I didn't see Brody go out with an injury or anything like that the previous series. So here's Jake Rogers. Here's a story here. He is the son of Eric Rogers. He is a long-time coach at South Point. Moved his family to Chandler after he stepped down from South Point. And he moves up to the Valley. Jake Rogers, he can sling it. He's a junior quarterback. He just hasn't had a ton of playing time. No bigger moment for this kid than right now.
Yeah, Jake Rogers in there at quarterback, and he is back to pass. And the catch is made by Cash Brock. Complete and runs comes after the catch for a few more yards. Nice play right there.
How about that? We just had a little drag route working from field to boundary. Get one of your best athletes the ball in space. Cash Brock, the Colorado State commit. Nice drop by Jake Rogers there. Puts the ball on the money. Let his athletes work in space and move the sticks.
That's what I expected to see a little bit more of from the offense, was getting the ball to Cash Brock, but they have been able to move it on the ground. So this Basha Bears offense has been working like a well-oiled machine. Rogers with the handoff to Gaines, who does not get much, as that's a nice play in the middle by the Brophy Broncos defense, and that's John Michael making the stop, number 44.
So here's the thing, as the starting quarterback, Brody Veers, is not in for the series. What does that allow Brophy to do a little bit? They can stack the box just a bit more. They were having to put about 4 or 5 deep there in the secondary in those other drives because they're just so talented on the outside. Okay, not as much as a threat. We're going to put 7, maybe 8 in a box there. Inside linebackers and defensive line doing a good job of stopping it for no gain.
So no gain, and Rogers hands it off to Gaines, and he gets a couple. He's still on his feet, and he is dragging the pile. Did he get the first down? It looked like he was down about a couple of yards into that run, and he just continued to drag the host of defenders as well as his own linemen.
Yeah, senior outside linebacker, Bastian Vandenbosch, met him after shedding a block in the hole. And Josh Gaines just kept those feet moving. Most of the time when Bastian Vandenbosch puts a lick on you, you're stopped right in your tracks, but he kept getting carried by his own offensive lineman moving sticks.
That was a nasty pile. 1st and 10 for the Bears. And there's a flag. False start by the Broncos there.
Yeah, that's another thing. New quarterback.
I should say the Bears. Check that.
New quarterback, different tempo. You know, things aren't the same. And I'm looking to see on the sideline if I could see Brody Veers even by a coach or something like that. And I don't see him at all, Jody. So that's something we're definitely going to have to check in at halftime.
Yeah, that is not a good sign, but hopefully he's all right. Jake Rogers, he's looking to throw it deep. He airs it out. And on the other end is Jaden Baldwin. Can't come down with it. It was defended there by Alex Buggy. Nice job of Buggy staying with Baldwin on the play.
Yeah, Baldwin had 2 steps on Buggy there, but the comeback speed for Buggy as heck. Jake Rogers, look at that arrow. That's nice, about 40 to 50 yards in the air. They went max protection with Noah Roberts, picking up one of the inside backers on a blitz. And he threw an absolute dime out there. But Buggy, once again, like you said, does a great job of getting his hands through the wide receiver to break up that deep ball.
Second down.
Second and 15 now with 1:40 left to go in the half. Another flag, looks like a false start once again.
This is why I love Chris McDonald, Jody, is because a lot of times, right, quarterback comes in, yeah, we're just maybe not trying to do too much, just quick hitch. No, we're going to go max protection and have our 9 route up the sideline, let our quarterback let it rip. That's what he does in practice. I'm sure Jake is a scout quarterback every single day against that top Basha defense. He's okay. He looks calm and collective out there.
And now it's 2nd and 20, and they're going 4 wide once again. As you've got Christian Diaz on the near side. Rogers looking to throw, short pass, and not even, let's see, that is for Cash Brock. It looks like it was complete to Cash Brock right there. So they're just going to take a chunk out of the 20 that they need for the first down.
I picked up about 9 there, an absolute bullet though, because Ryder Noche, junior defensive back for Brophy, was right on his hip pocket, and Jake Rogers stepped into that pass and threw a bullet only where Cash Brock could catch it and cutting their yardage in half there.
So 3rd and 12 now. They look for another pass play here from Rogers, and he does. Looking deep, and a lot of contact. Jaden Baldwin is covered by 2 defenders, and a flag comes down before the ball came down.
Like I said, Jake Rogers is letting it rip. We do not see a backup quarterback come to a situation and just go guns blazing, but this kid is ready for the moment. I love it. Jaden Baldwin, a key pivotal piece in this receiving core. Nice job by the Brophy defense to put two hats on him. I think just getting a little physical down the field, that's going to move the sticks because of that 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, there was Julian Ferrari and Alex Buggy down there on either side of Jaden Baldwin, and with the penalty, it's a Bears first down, and Rogers continues to drive this Bears offense through the air. And now they are over in Bronco territory at the 46-yard line. Rogers looking, and it's a dart to Diaz. It's Christian Diaz on the catch, the 5'9" receiver.
A good shot here from our sideline crew. Just timing route, runs that route right at the sticks. Jake Rogers able to step up. He's got great protection, too, up front. Going max pro on a lot of these sets here. So 6 blockers of that running back stepping down and protecting A and B gap or shifting out to one of the side. And the Basha beef giving Jake Rogers some good time.
Yeah. Rogers looks, throws right. He's got Cash Brock trying to put a move on the defender, but he's brought down. But, of course, it is a first down in a big game.
It's all timing routes. He looks so comfortable out there on that pocket. He's getting the ball out quick. Looking at Cash Brock on that 5-step drop. Bam, right in the breadbasket. He picks up another first down.
Pike and Noche in the area, but perfectly delivered to Brock.
And now he's got to run a 1-minute drill here, Jody. They have blew all their timeouts early in this half. We're going to watch Jake Rogers now try to efficiently run that 2 to 1 minute drill as he spikes it down for a 2nd and 2. I love this situation for this backup quarterback coming into the game midway through the second quarter. Try to leave Basha to a score here before the half ends.
Yeah, you know, Rogers looks pretty comfortable, like you mentioned, for coming in for Veers. No word on Veers, but it's not an easy thing to do as a backup quarterback. The junior Rogers operating this offense. So 2nd and 10 from the 24. He's got both backs with him. And all going out for passes, and that one did not develop the way they wanted it to. Roberts either needed to run a little bit out a little more, or Rogers was slightly off target, one or the other, Cody.
Yeah, just a little bit of touch there, kind of a fireball out into the swing route. Deshaun Crine sitting there in the flat at corner, and also Bashan Vandenbosch leaking out to the flat, too. Two of the top defenders for Brophy sitting there in the flat. And here we go. If you're a Brophy defense, I know it hasn't gone your way most of this game, and you have to make a stop here. This is a must stop if you're the Brophy defense.
I mean, we've seen Brophy come back and get into the game much like last year, although that one was a tighter game. But you don't want to give up any more points here with 25 seconds left. Been a lot of flags flying here tonight, Cody.
Yeah, a lot of pre-snap penalties here for Basha, especially on this drive. I believe that's their 3rd one. So this game, we're about an hour and 20 minutes into this first half of the 6A football kickoff on the Thursday slate. A Thursday slate, Jody. It's one of the best I've ever seen. The games around the valley, huge matchups around the state tonight.
This is a huge one, and just to have high school football back and underway, I know the smaller schools started last week. It is fantastic. Rogers looks, steps up into the pocket, throws deep to the end zone. Cash Brock was in the end zone, but flying into the end zone at the last moment was number 15, Barry Adams.
Jake stepping up into the pocket, delivering that right in the back corner pylon. Honestly, not bad ball placement from the junior quarterback there. Brophy with numerous defensive backs sitting there. One of them, big number 9, Ryder Noche, and number 2, Alex Buggy. Alex Buggy's a player that we're probably going to see on the offensive side of the ball here a lot in the second half. He played quite a bit of offense there last year.
And the field goal attempt from Mikey Barth is up, and it is no good. So with that, 12 seconds left in the half, and Basha's lead is still 21-0. That is a small victory for the Brophy Broncos.
Needed to happen there. Needed to happen. It's a little win, and we're going to close out this first half regroup in the locker room. We'd love to see what happened. Love to see what would happen with Brody Veers here, and hopefully get an answer here at the break.
See if we can get some information on that. The distance on that field goal, I think it was about 40.
Yeah, about 45 yards.
45 yards.
Just wide right.
So Brophy will get it back here with 12 seconds, and they will just take a knee and call it a half. Case Vandenbosch and the guys still looking for their first points of the game. And one of your keys was the turnover battle that with a blocked punt really hurt. But it's been a really exciting first half of high school football here to kick it off, Cody. The Brophy Broncos, we know they'll be looking to get some points in the second half.
It really has. And if you're looking at Basha offensively, I think in the second half here, go back to Josh Gaines and Noah Roberts. You know, if it's not broken, don't need to fix it. That offensive lineman is doing a great job of working doubles and getting to the second level. Josh Gaines, he must only have 6 or 7 carries, but he's well into the 40, 50-yard range with that touchdown. Get an update on Brody Veers, but once again, Noah Roberts, I think he's been more so in the passing game, which he's very, very good at too. That's a kid you can get going to. I'd love to see him get another 5 to 10 touches in the second half. Those two guys will get rolling, and that Basha offense will roll too. But Basha defensively, that has been the story. They have an interception, and they have a blocked punt, and I think they're showcasing not just their front seven, but their secondary, how athletic those guys are in that back half.
Yeah, they really can rotate a lot of guys. They have a ton of depth back there in many ways, you know, led by Caden Williams. They've also got Caden Smith. Let's head down to the sideline right now, and Lexi Lambert is alongside Chris McDonald.
Hi, Coach. Strong game so far. What are you going to be telling your players going into the locker room?
We just got to clean up some of the silly penalties that we're doing, the extracurricular stuff. That last offensive drive was ugly. Been pretty happy with our O-line up front, blocking. Yeah, I mean, you know, it was ugly, the last one, but we put ourselves in a position to kick a field goal, make it, and go into half. But we just got to continue to pound the rock.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Coach. Back to you, Jody.
Thank you, Lexi. We appreciate it. And our halftime coverage continues here on CW7 Arizona, the Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown. What a game it's been. Josh Gaines took it in, followed by Veers and Roberts. Stay with us. We'll learn more about our Fiesta Bowl partners next.
Get a great deal on a powerful Ram Heavy Duty or Ram 1500 Motor Trend's 2025 Truck of the Year.
Get 10% below MSRP plus $2,000 total bonus cash on the 2025 Ram 1500. Or get 1.9% financing for 72 months on most 2025 Ram 1500 models. See your Arizona Ram dealer today.
Hurt in an accident with an 18-wheeler? 18-wheelers cause big damage. Weighing up to 80,000 pounds, their impact is absolutely devastating. And these cases are complex, involving federal laws and powerful legal teams protecting trucking companies. Who's protecting you? Just recently, Sweet James Accident Attorneys recovered $10 million for a client injured in a trucking accident. Don't let the insurance companies take you for a ride. Call Sweet James for a free consultation. We are your big truck accident attorneys.
Spencer's Labor Day Sell Down. Leave the work to Spencer's. You do all the savings on our best appliance brands. Save big on the stainless steel Frigidaire dishwasher, only $3.99. Or the stainless steel Frigidaire Gallery French door refrigerator, just $14.99. Plus, buy now and pay no interest till summer of 2026. And enjoy next day delivery and installation. It's Spencer's Labor Day Sell Down, and it's like having a friend in the business.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Now bust a move, bust a move, bust a move.
Get a great deal on a powerful Ram Heavy Duty or Ram 1500 Motor Trend's 2025 Truck of the Year.
Get 10% below MSRP plus $2,000 total bonus cash on the 2025 Ram 1500. Or get 1.9% financing for 72 months on most 2025 Ram 1500 models. See your Arizona Ram dealer today.
Welcome into the halftime show here at the Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown on CW7. Tonight's halftime is brought to you by Talk Now AZ. Start a conversation about drugs and alcohol with your kids now. Talk. They hear you. Welcome on in. 21-0 Basha over Brophy Prep at halftime. We'll get to more of that near the end of halftime, but right now I'm joined here at the desk by Scott Lightman, Fiesta Bowl VP of Communications. And Scott, this has been a fun one so far, and I really want to talk about what you guys have done for the community. So everybody knows the Fiesta Bowl and what you guys do, and that's where you guys get to every year when we get to bowl season. But what you guys do out here in the community and do for these schools and different parts of the community, what's that like?
It's amazing, and it really is our why, our North Star. At the Fiesta Sports Foundation, we have 3 pillars: youth, sports, and education. And we adopted a new slogan, a new mantra, and it's called "Our Season Never Ends." So while tonight is the start of football season, and that's the best time of year, once that completes, our season never ends in terms of our giving, in terms of our volunteerism, in terms of bringing a spotlight to Arizona. Our mission is to drive economic impact for the state of Arizona, and we've done that to the tune of more than $3 billion over the last 15 years. So that's what we're here for. We're here to give back. We're talking about what we do with our Rate Bowl game, and what we do is we donate that field. So the field that is at Chase Field, we put that in, and when that's done, that 70,000 square foot of sod, we donate back to a community in need. So we bring the football and the off-the-field giving to our communities.
I think that's what's so special. There's so many bowl games and what you guys do impacting the community. I don't see many others like that. And you talk about, the motto year-round. It's basically, like these high school kids. Football is year-round. Some of them play multiple sports, of course. We love when they do. But, the work that we're seeing on the field, the results we're seeing, it's the result of the hard work. And it's the same with you guys. The results of what we see in the Fiesta Bowl is just the payoff of everything you've done year-round.
You mentioned that we're well known for our 2 bowl games, the Rate Bowl and the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, that happened in December. And this year, the Verbo Fiesta Bowl will host the college football playoff semifinal on January 8th. So we hope all the viewers will come out to that. But we have an event, and a lot of people don't know this. We host or manage or organize event in 9 of the 12 months out of the year. And that's part of the whole reason we talk about Fiesta Sports Foundation, is that we are bringing more depth and breadth to the awareness to the public of all that we do. We give away millions of dollars in charity. On Tuesday, September 2nd, we will start the Wishes for Teachers program, and this year we will donate $1.5 million to teachers across the state. So anyone who's a teacher out there, visit wishes4teachers.org next week and apply for a $2,500 grant. It takes about 10 minutes to fill out the application, and that's all you have to do.
That one's huge, and so obviously people watching this broadcast, they're going to see other games, our partnership with you guys throughout the rest of the season. But what are some of the other events coming up soon in the next 30 seconds so that you want to explain and let people know about?
We have what's called Spirit's Birthday Party. It's a mascot birthday party for all the mascots around, and we benefit Boys and Girls Club. We have a Par 3 Golf Challenge, which is sold out again over 3 days. And all of those revenues, we just had a 1,000-person kickoff luncheon with Jim McMahon. All the revenues that we get immediately go back into the community. So when I mentioned we give away millions of dollars per year, that comes from the support of the community.
I'm going to go find Spirit, mascot dance party. You had me sold there, Scott. Thank you so much. We'll have more at halftime coming up next.
Keep summer going with Nissan. Named #1 in new vehicle quality by J.D. Power. Hurry in today. Get 0% APR for 60 months on select popular models.
I called Morgan & Morgan because of how large of a firm that they are.
They're the biggest injury law firm, and they cut through the red tape. They get things done.
They weren't going to take guff from my employer.
Morgan & Morgan fought very hard. I was amazed.
Fun is pizza and games at a price that's perfect any day of the week. At Peter Piper Pizza, all games are now 1 point each to play. That's fun! Fun is dough-made fresh daily and handcrafted pizzas. Fun is can't-miss games and e-tickets for top-shelf prices. Right now, Fun is a large one-topping pizza, 4 fountain drinks, and 50 games for just $24.99. And to score even more deals and rewards, download our app. Because at Peter Piper Pizza, the fun is baked in.
Keep summer going with Nissan. Named #1 in new vehicle quality by J.D. Power. Hurry in today. Get 0% APR for 60 months on select popular models.
CW7 Arizona is first and local, discovering the great places in our local communities.
I'm here in North Central Phoenix at two favorite neighborhood hotspots. You got Lucy's at the Orchard, cozy little cafe and market. And then here, a go-to spot for dinner and drinks, the Orchard Tavern. This is 2 acres. It used to be a citrus grove, and now there's a really cool place to hang out. Let's check it out. There is so much to eat, do, and see here at the Orchard. Jerry, take us through all that's happening here.
Well, thank you for having me here. I'll show you what's going on. So this is the Orchard property, and obviously we're standing in Orchard Tavern. We've been here for a total of the property of 9.5 years, including our sister company, Lucy's at the Orchard, which is super popular in the day. And it's very unique because, you know, we're standing in a beautiful property that's been here over 100 years. That was a citrus farm. And this is an actual home that's been here since 1920.
And here at Orchard Tavern, there's something quirky everywhere you look. It is so much fun. Of course, there are dogs everywhere. Slow down and you take in all the charming little touches and, of course, the food. This is one of your most popular.
Who doesn't love some comfort food? You know, chicken pot pie, we have a really cool spin on it. It's our chipotle chicken blend inside there. We also have a wood-fired oven to get that beautiful char on it. Along with, you know, a lot of fun favorites that we have. Our amazing French dip. People love mushrooms, caramelized onions, amazing stuff in there.
You're a tavern.
Yes.
You gotta have fish and chips.
So fish and chips are super popular. 3 big pieces of cod with our Sidewinder potatoes too. We do Neapolitan pizza, a great hit because, you know, if you have kids in here too, they probably want pizza. They're probably not a big fish and chip fan. So we have something for everyone, along with all our fun stuff like shrimp Cobb salad, which people love.
It's beautiful.
A lot. Thank you. It's like you almost don't want to touch it. It's so pretty. Another famous appetizer is our tenderloin toast right here. We're talking about brie, caramelized onions, and some tenderloin with a horseradish mayo.
Beautiful.
And to enjoy drinks too, we have that here also.
Before I go, I have to see inside the chicken pot pie. Can I break into it? I just feel like I need to see. Okay, I'm getting in here.
You're gonna get in there?
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. It's warm and steaming.
Look at that. I cannot wait for it to be chicken pot pie season. Look at the steam coming. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
School's back in session and you want to keep those tennis shoes clean? Well, I got the place for you. It's called Rejuvenator.
So Rejuvenator, I started back in 2010. I just wanted to develop a new cleaning product that just cleans shoes the way that I've been doing it for 15 years. It was better than anything on the market. Since then, we've obviously expanded into a retail location. Now we have a drop-off shoe cleaning service. You bring your shoes, we basically go over which service makes the most sense for you. And then you just drop them off. We clean them for you professionally, and then 2 or 3 days later, you come pick them up. Depending on the shoe, all shoes are different. As you know, shoes are made from multiple different materials, so it really just depends on the shoes. So we can use anywhere from the washing machine laundry or a suede brush and a dry clean. What separates us from other shoe cleaners is really just our laundry system. It is what we're known for. We have a patent on our signature laundry system, plus, you know, our online presence.
The cleaning process can be different for all types of shoes and materials, but since we got this sneaker right in front of us, let's talk about this shoe. As you can see, it has navy blue suede plus white mesh. Just a sign that it's gonna be a very challenging clean. The first step we like to do is really look at the shoe, see what type of materials. Since it has those materials I talked about, we're gonna use all 3 of our Rejuvenator brushes, starting with our soft brush. It just generates the most bubbles. So I really clean this midsole first, clean the outsole just to get all that extra dirt and grime off. So that way when I'm working on the uppers, it doesn't potentially transfer again onto the suede or this mesh. So after we're done with all the brushes, that's where I'm gonna go ahead and blow out any trapped in dirt that I'm finding in this mesh, and then really using the steam cleaner and cleaning the shoe fully. It can take anywhere from 20 minutes for a basic clean or multiple hours, again, if you want a deep clean. For this shoe, you know, it's gonna probably take 20, 30 minutes to clean, but then we also have to let it dry, which can take, you know, multiple different hours on our drying rack or under a fan or in the good old Arizona sunshine. But then after that, we're gonna have to go back to it and reset the suede, make it nice, plush, and buttery once again. And then we're gonna have to apply mink oil. Again, it'll bring back some of that color. Quick tip for cleaning your shoes, make sure you use Rejuvenator products. Available at rejuvenator.com, or you can pull up to the shop locally and we'll take care of you.
There's more first and local to discover. Go to CW7AZ.com/football. After the break, it's back to the Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown on CW7 Arizona.
This Labor Day weekend, we are celebrating Bob's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country.
For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves a home they love.
That's why we're bringing our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more.
And free treats for the whole family in our cafe.
So stop in for the latest styles
and top-notch features
at mind-blowing prices.
Celebrate Bob's 200th milestone this Labor Day in all my stores, coast to coast.
Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
Beyond game day, you'll find the Fiesta Sports Foundation working year-round to improve Arizona communities in education, in youth programs, in sports. With more than 1 million Arizonans supported in 2024 and over 32 million in charitable donations since 2011. With your help, we'll go above and beyond in everything we do. Fiesta Sports Foundation. Our season never ends.
It's David Kimmerly. I've lived here for over 70 years and I know the best place to buy a new Ford. It's Sanderson. But if you're new to the Valley, let me show you why. Size matters. We have 65 acres of cars with parts, service, collision center, custom shop, and an on-site Starliner diner. We're America's most awarded Ford dealership for complete customer satisfaction. We'll treat you right with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense.
See our Labor Day specials at SandersonFord.com.
Thank you for your business over the past 70 years.
Welcome back into the halftime show. Tonight's halftime is brought to you by Talk Now AZ. Start a conversation about drugs and alcohol with your kids now. Talk. They hear you. Brophy fans still bringing the energy, still having a good time out here. The Brophy Stampede, one of the best student sections in the country as we near the end of halftime. Basha leaves 21-0. Here's the upcoming CW schedule. You can take a look at it on your screen. Very excited for the next games that we have coming up, including Red Mountain at Sandra Day O'Connor on September 11th. That will be our next broadcast. We have the same crew coming at you for that one, as well as 8 other games past that throughout the season. We're very excited to bring you all the Thursday night action right here on the Fiesta Bowl. And when we return from...
Keep summer going with Nissan. Named #1 in new vehicle quality by J.D. Power. Hurry in today. Get 0% APR for 60 months on select popular models.
Stand up!
Nine out of 10 people addicted to alcohol or drugs started as a teen. That's why starting a conversation before your child is exposed to alcohol and drugs is important. Over 70% of young people say parents or caregivers are a reason they don't drink or use drugs. How can you make a difference? Pay attention and show you care. Share facts and help them build skills on how to avoid alcohol and other drugs. Talk. They hear you. Visit TalkNowAZ.com.
Accidents happen, and when they do, every second counts. Whether you've been involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, waiting to reach out to my winning team of attorneys could be a costly decision. Evidence fades, memories dim, and vital details slip away. Your case deserves immediate attention. Don't navigate the legal maze alone. At Sweet James, we're here for you. Let us fight for the justice you deserve. Time is ticking, and so is the strength of your case. Call now for a free consultation. Your future depends on it.
Keep summer going with Nissan. Named #1 in new vehicle quality by J.D. Power. Hurry in today. Get 0% APR for 60 months on select popular models.
Welcome back to
We are getting ready to begin the second half of the game. Coach, we are coming out of halftime. What did you tell your players in the locker room?
I told them there are no 21-point plays. We got to come out here. We got to get some first downs. We've left our defense out to dry. We've hung them out to dry too many times. We got to get some first downs. Need some positive plays. We need things to go our way. We got to tackle better on defense too to stop those drives. But we've given Basha short fields, and they've capitalized. And they're a good football team, and we can't do that.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Coach. Best of luck this half.
Thank you.
Back to you guys up in the studio.
Thank you, Lexi. Appreciate that, and a good message there from Jason Jewell, Cody.
Absolutely, and I agree with him. I think in some of those situations, especially inside the box, they're wrapping up Josh Gaines and Noah Roberts securing tackles. Now, with that said, it's harder to do than actually say, especially in the booth. Those guys do such a tremendous job. And some other little nugget note here is Brody Veers is not hurt. They just wanted to see Jake Rogers sling the rock a little bit here in that first half. So fully expect the senior quarterback Brody Veers to be back out here in the second half.
Well, that is good news to know that he is fine. And Jake Rogers, though, while you saw, Chris McDonald wasn't too happy with the procedures that we saw there, but he was airing it out and making some completions to some of the wideouts, that's for sure. Tonight's game is presented by Precision Aging Network, closing the gap between cognitive health span and human lifespan. What a night it's been. It is, dare I say, cooling off a little bit, Cody.
I was literally pulling up the weather right as we speak. 94 degrees. Jody, I've been doing this. I was about to say this. I've been doing this 8 years now. 8th high school football season. We are so lucky that it's not 110, 115. And last year, it seemed like we had 105, 110 kickoffs all the way up to in October. So an August kickoff here to start the season. 92 and some breezy wind.
It's a little breezy right now.
All day.
And it's a little humid, which I think we've seen the monsoon. We like the rain, that's for sure, but the humidity is a little tough. But great night out here. High school football is back. These two 6A powers going at it, and it is 21-0 Basha right now. They have been powered by Josh Gaines and Noah Roberts on the ground. Brody Veers was in, had a touchdown on the ground, and Jake Rogers was in for the latter part of that second quarter. Brophy, on the other hand, they haven't been able to consistently move the ball. You heard Jason Jewell there wanting a little better tackling, but Brophy is going to kick it off here to Basha to start the second half. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Desert Financial Credit Union. We believe in contributing to the community and our members. And we're set to kick it here at Ray Lang Field, the home of the Brophy Broncos. And Jack Carson is going to squib kick it, and it is just fallen on by, I believe that is Saylor. That is Tristan Saylor. And another young man whose parents I spoke to.
There you go, a sophomore wide receiver who also runs track, and I feel like a broken record saying all these Basha skill players run track, but it is unison. It helps create a better football player as Brody Veers brings back his offense. With Noah Roberts in the backfield here. First drive for Basha. Good to see Brody Veers, the senior committed to North Texas, back on the field.
And that was Ryder Hampton on the kick, by the way. So Brody Veers back in there, and he's going to take it himself up the middle, and the stop is made by number 44. And that's John Michael on the stop as Veers is back and running the rock once again.
Junior defensive lineman, 6'1", 244. Working the second level there. Brody Veers, nice cut back on that midline read. Picking up 6 on that first down. It's very same exact play. He scored a touchdown on.
Yeah, that was a nice one by Veers as it's 2nd and 4 now. Looking to pass and finding number 15 for Basha, and that is Barry Adams. We've seen him come up with a few big plays here tonight.
Yeah, 6'2", 200 pounds, working middle of the field, finding that soft spot zone. Take a look at here, Brody Veers surveying the inside backer, just splitting going to their pass drops there for the hook curl. Barry Adams is finding that soft spot and moving the sticks on the first drive of the second half.
Getting that good protection from an O-line that features a number of juniors, too, so they are going to be set for next year as well, Cody. 1st and 10, and the give on the ground to Josh Gaines, and it's a big gain. Is he gone? He's being tracked down by a couple of Broncos, and he'll be in for the touchdown. Josh Gaines, what a run. He got loose on the right side and tackled, but not before he got into the end zone. Basha strikes again.
The senior tailback making one cut right there, bam. And then look at the speed, the breakaway speed as he blows past the secondary for Brophy. Takes and carries a would-be tackler into the end zone for a second touchdown of this contest. Josh Gaines, what a heck of a football player.
He really is. He's been electric. And so just like that, about a minute and a half into the third quarter, Basha with the touchdown and the extra point by Mikey Barth. And it's 28-0. Basha over Brophy Prep.
Got to talk to those Basha coaches at halftime. And they're really, really happy with their offensive line. So you see on that right replay, it's been that right side all game long here, Jody. And that was Deshaun Yarborough. We have said his name 2 or 3 times now. The big tackle coming from Minnesota as they are just pile driving the defensive lineman for Brophy into the dirt. Heck, we have barely even called this guy on the left side. It's Jake Hildebrand. Jake Hildebrand's one of the best football players, not just in Arizona, in the entire country at left tackle for Basha. He's got a million Division I offers. He's sitting at about 6'5", 6'6", and 300 pounds. So having those two guys anchor the tackles, and then Tavita Kelly, another interior guard for them, that Basha offensive lineman is eating out here to start the season.
Yeah, Hildebrand, he turned his man to the outside. I mean, did his job. And obviously, Gaines was going over to the right, but if you're a defender, that is some kind of challenge. And again, Hildebrand and Yarborough just juniors. Hildebrand with 38 offers, Yarborough with 19 and counting. So Basha once again kicks it off. Mikey Barth Jr. kicks it into the end zone, and the Broncos will take over at the 20. And you know, this is an offense with Case Vandenbosch at the helm last year that was so productive. But again, they switched out the entire O-line, and like you mentioned earlier, Cody, those guys are in college now. They're playing at the next level. Yeah,
I think if you look at their skill players, yeah, they don't have Dalen Sharper tonight. Someone else got to step up. A name I mentioned in the first half, playing a lot more in the secondary, but as Alex Buggy. I think he's a player sitting at 6'2", 180 pounds. Maybe he's a player who can get going here in the second half. The Harrison Chambers, too. Harrison Chambers only has about 4 or 5 carries in this football game, Jody. And that first series, he popped a couple long runs there. Even though they're down 28-0, I'd still a player to get your offense in a groove. You want to see carry the rock a little bit more in the second half.
For sure, yeah. Chambers, you'd like to see them move the ball on the ground. It's just you've seen them go to that a few times, not get a whole lot, and then Case Vandenbosch wanting to hit the home run with a long pass. It's going to be a re-kick here for Barth and company. Back to receive for Brophy. Once again, you've got Julian Ferrari, which is, by the way, a great name, and Ryder Noche.
There's a fantastic football name right there.
Yeah.
Ryder Noche.
And he's fast, too. Both of them are fast. Both of them are quick, but no one can field the Mikey Barth kickoffs, that's for sure.
Well, how about that, right? There's such a weapon. He moved the 5 yards back, and he's still 10 yards in the back of the end zone. Mikey Barth, only a sophomore, Jody. He has an early ASU offer, like you mentioned. His dad was a kicker for the Sun Devils. I expect that number to continue to climb more than 1 because he is a heck of a weapon. And he's wearing the number 20. The uncle, which is Hunter Barth, a longtime strong safety for Queen Creek football, plays at Cal and now fishing career at Stanford, was also number 20.
Good nugget there. So 1st and 10 from the 20. Vanden Bosch short pass out to Fitzgerald, trying to make a move. And high percentage pass right there, and hoping that Fitzgerald could get loose, but the Basha defense was all over it. Mark Dewerson on the stop.
That come from the outside backer position, reading his keys and flying to the football there was Dewerson, one of those linebackers next to Eli Cronin. And same thing, we talk about the secondary, but also those inside backers at 190 pounds, Dewerson. He has a high motor, and he flies to the ball carrier, securing the tackle. Only about a 2-yard gain on first down.
I like the idea of getting the football in the hands of the playmakers, and Fitzgerald certainly is one. There's a nice pass over to the right side, but he is brought down. That's Jason Kubica. We've seen him targeted a few times, the senior, and Caleb Garcia bringing him down right after he made the catch.
Yeah, Caleb Garcia is another one of the seniors who are committed. He is verbally committed to the Air Force Academy, Colorado Springs Air Force Academy. They do such a tremendous job of recruiting the state of Arizona. They have a couple kids verbally committed, 2 out here. Case Vanden Bosch, also an Air Force commit. And what a beautiful spot. We spent a couple time out there for the last 6 months, Jody, just hiking in. Gorgeous area. It's easy to sell when you go see the Pikes Peak and the Colorado Rocky Mountains, but Caleb Garcia driving his feet through contact, securing that tackle. Unfortunately, there's another 15-yard penalty on the Basha defense after the play, and after the fact, 15-yard.
That's one thing they're going to have to clean up. Chris McDonald and his staff do not like the penalties. That will hurt them in some games if they don't make those adjustments. So 1st and 10 from the 47. Vanden Bosch steps up, throwing, and was looking for Devin Fitzgerald, but that ball was picked off by number 16, Kaiser Wilson. He's one of those rotational guys at 6'1", 200 pounds, junior Kaiser Wilson, with the 2nd interception of the night for the Basha Bears.
Shows you how deep this Basha secondary is. He's just reading the eyes of Vanden Bosch. Vanden Bosch steps up, kind of underthrows Fitzgerald there. Kaiser Wilson, all eyes on QP, high points the pass, and comes up with the 2nd turnover for the Basha secondary. And I know it's game 1, Jody, but this to me is kind of proven itself to be one of the top secondaries in the entire state. I know it's early, but they are so deep and so talented at every position in the back half there.
I mean, we've called a lot of the names here tonight. Trey Knox, Caleb Garcia, Caden Smith, Caden Williams, Kaiser Wilson. You've got other guys in the secondary, like Trey Kennard. So 1st and 10 from the 30, and Fears fires and incomplete to Gaines. So Basha, once again, they're going to look to put together a long drive, and what they've shown is with that run game, they can eat clock. This is not the greatest of situations for Brophy with 9 minutes left in the 3rd.
And Brody hasn't had to do too much. Brody Veers, senior quarterback, a couple of his dual threat abilities, he had the touchdown, but the good thing is I just like the rhythm he's in. I think he's done a really good job of surveying the field and finding open receivers, but it's been the two-headed monster, Noah Roberts and Josh Gaines, putting on a show right now.
It's got to be a lot of comfort with the running backs, and he fumbles the ball, has to pick it up, and runs with Josh Finch-Logan pressuring him. He gets it off to one of his targets, Noah Roberts. But that was a problem from the beginning as he fumbled the snap.
Yeah, great job of getting back on the ball. He's able to complete a pass. Noah Roberts sitting by the sideline there in the flat, flips it over to him, and up the sideline, gets a block, picks up 5 to 7 yards there, which it looked like a situation that could have been a loss of 7 or 8.
I was saying, not just the running backs, but what a comfort it must be for whether it's Veers or even Rogers that came in, having those big guys, the Basha beef, like you like to call it. Like, look at Yarborough, right? I mean, he's got offers from all over. He's got an offer from Minnesota, but he's also got Alabama and all the big dogs. Veers looking to pass and complete to Jaden Baldwin. It's Deshaun Crine Smith pushing him out of bounds there, but nice catch by Baldwin.
Nice job by Deshaun Crine. He's the senior quarter committed to Montana State, one of the top FCS schools in the entire country. You see T-steps and drives on that pass, secures the tackle. We heard Jason Jewell, the head coach at Brophy, talk about securing tackles. Must have that on third down, and that's exactly what Deshaun Crine does, and it forces a Basha punt, something much needed on the Brophy defense.
Real solid tackle from Crine there, and like you said, there haven't been too many punts by this Basha team, so Brophy with the victory there. Whistles before the punt.
Dead ball, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty.
And that's going to be a delay of game, pushing the Bears back further. Clayton Cooper, the punter. He's a senior. Cooper gets the punt off, and it's received by Ryder Noche at about the 30 as he turns it upfield down the sideline. It gets out almost to midfield, but the flags fly immediately for a late hit.
Yeah, that's going to be another 15 yards tacked on to the return. Go Ryder Noche. Really good player in the secondary. It is the speed. As you see, gets a couple blocks, jumps to the outside. He's one of the best athletes on this Brophy team right there. He takes a late shot there. I don't know if they got that flag, but there's for sure a personal foul penalty near midfield here, and Brophy's going to get their best field position of the game. It's going to be near that 40 to 35-yard line.
I was talking to Jason Jewell about Ryder Noche. It's the speed. He was also on Team USA flag football and was player of the year for the 14U squad.
He got some playing time as a freshman, too, a couple of years ago. And you know how hard that is? A 6A football. It's the highest level of football classification in the state of Arizona. And just the speed and obviously the size of the players, too. It is so impressive. And we've seen it now, really, especially with these two teams. Damon Williams, Miles Lockhart is a corner at Ohio State. There's been so many names for both of these teams that they've had kids start as freshmen. And that is an amazing feat at the high school level.
Following tonight's game, be sure to stick around for Police 24/7 only on CW7 Arizona. Ride shotgun with officers for an inside look at law enforcement on the job. It's unexpected, intense, raw, and always unforgettable. Police 24/7 tonight on CW7 Arizona.
I love that you said you grew up watching Cops. State of Florida.
It was very unique then, right? And it was like Fort Lauderdale, ride-alongs, things like that.
Point of view.
Near there.
Yeah, point of view of that. And also, and back to the gameplay here, it was offsetting penalties. So we had an unsportsmanlike conduct on Brophy and then a late hit on Basha, offsetting. So still great field position for Brophy, but not as good as I once imagined.
I could see that late hit. Again, that's the high school football mom in me coming out. Throw that flag.
I love that.
1st and 10 from the 48. Brophy, and there's another flag. The flags have just been flying here. So this is dead ball foul, false start. It's going to bring the Broncos back 5 yards. Again, frustrating as they're trying to take advantage of getting that stop and having Basha punt. And they're still in decent position, but now 1st and 15.
Just got a lot of young players up on the front. So first game at the high school level.
Some freshmen on the O-line. And Vanden Bosch, he's going deep once again and throws it to Donovan McNabb Jr., but Devin Fitzgerald was in the area as well, and you had Trey Knox.
Incomplete pass intended for Donovan.
And a couple other defenders. It looks like Knox is shaken up a little, but he's okay.
Yeah, just some dangerous pass here to a secondary that already has a couple picks, and right now Basha is just kind of playing everything in front of them. They're either going too high or in a cover 3 look, but they are looking to jump all routes. And on there, it's a great job by the secondary.
There's a player down. Basha leads it 28-0. We will head to a break here from Ray Lang Field.
Get a great deal on a powerful Ram Heavy Duty or Ram 1500 Motor Trend's 2025 Truck of the Year.
Get 10% below MSRP, plus $2,000 total bonus cash on the 2025 Ram 1500. Or get 1.9% financing for 72 months on most 2025 Ram 1500 models. See your Arizona Ram dealer today.
Beyond game day, you'll find the Fiesta Sports Foundation working year-round to improve Arizona communities. In education, in youth programs, in sports. With more than 1 million Arizonans supported in 2024 and over 32 million in charitable donations since 2011. With your help, we'll go above and beyond in everything we do. Fiesta Sports Foundation. Our season never ends. Get a great deal on a powerful Ram Heavy Duty or Ram 1500 Motor Trend's 2025 Truck of the Year.
Get 10% below MSRP, plus $2,000 total bonus cash on the 2025 Ram 1500. Or get 1.9% financing for 72 months on most 2025 Ram 1500 models. See your Arizona Ram dealer today.
Welcome back. We are here with one of the hype crews here for the student section. You guys are the robotics club, and you guys have this t-shirt toss robot. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
So this t-shirt cannon, we call it the TARS. This started around 10 years ago and was updated over the years by the previous senior groups. This specific variation started 5 years ago, and we've kind of just been maintaining it ever since. This t-shirt cannon we've been bringing to all the games over the past 5 years. We just kind of want to bring up and show up the spirit of the school and all the aspects that we show that robotics supports even the football games. So.
And it's a little too close right now to shoot off into the student section because it has some crazy power, right?
Yeah. So each tank can hold up to 80 psi. So this t-shirt cannon can shoot up to about 40 yards ish. 40. I think maxed out, we could reach around 70 yards with this t-shirt cannon.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much, and keep bringing the hype to the crowd right now. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lexi. Yeah, you could tell, Cody, I was a journalism major. Robotics was not my thing, but that's pretty cool.
I say the same thing. I'm not smart enough to build something like that.
Figure that out.
I was at the pep rally though, Jody. They put that up on the in the basketball court, and that thing did shoot the full length of a basketball court. I told Jason Joel to run a hitch and go and catch one of those, and he told me no. He didn't want to do that in the pep rally there, so I was pretty disappointed in Jason Joel.
You should have done it though. You still got the speed. Come on. Van den Bosch is going to take it himself. A little bit of room to run, but just getting a yard or two past the line of scrimmage. Mark Dewerson again on the stop. What a game from number 12, Dewerson.
Yeah, he's everywhere. It just kind of shows you the speed of him. Nice shot by Van den Bosch here. The pocket collapses, he steps up, replaces his center. But Mark Dewerson, that's what Basha does really well, securing the tackle, wrapping up, making sure he's not bouncing off any tackles, and setting up a 4th and 8 situation where Basha's going to get the ball back after this punt.
Eli Cronin was there as well, and so it is 4th down. When Case does have a little bit of time to throw, the DBs are blanketing the receivers. It's just been, there just has not been a lot of space for anyone to operate for the Broncos. Oh, and the punt is blocked again. Trey Knox with the second block, and it popped in the air and caught. And that's going to be taken into the end zone. Caleb Jordan, what a play. Johnny on the spot to pick up the ball. Knox with his second block of the night.
Trey Knox season comes flying off the edge. Once again, untouched, puts 2 hands on the ball. So get a great shot up there, the great athleticism. And then Caleb Jordan, one of their top junior defensive ends at this Basha defense, picking up the ball and racing, showing the speed as he takes it to the house for 6. What a tremendous play once again from the Basha special teams.
6'3", 220, junior Caleb Jordan. He's got a nose for the end zone.
Now, if I'm a college coach, there are so many prospects right now that I'm watching on this Basha defense, and I am circling on my big board because they are getting after it tonight.
53 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Mikey Barth puts it up, and it is 35-0. Here's another look at it again. Nice to make the catch and dragging a couple of Hugo Chamberlain was there, trying to be taken down, and he just says, I am heading to the end zone, and he scores.
Yeah, if I am Brophy's special teams coordinator, we are looking at our protection there, and we are wondering why we are not sliding and blocking number 7. That is Trey Knox, the senior defensive back, who's part of a track program on a 4x100 and a 100-meter individual runner, too. He's one of the top runners in the state. He is a high-flying defensive back, tremendous athleticism. You have to put a hat on a kid like that in special teams. And we talked about this, that Basha has some of their starters out there on special teams. That matters. They make massive impacts in the special teams games.
We're just seeing a lot of the depth right now from this Basha Bears team. As we get set for the kickoff. Tonight's game brought to you by Sanderson Ford. This is Sanderson Ford Country. 6:53 left here in the third quarter. Basha, they've shown not only the ability on offense to score, but on special teams. It's been very impressive. Barth's kickoff sails high and deep past the end zone. Brophy, again, seemingly always after the Barth kickoff, you know, they've got to go 80 yards because that's just the nature of having Mikey Barth on the team. But this has just been an interesting game right out of the chute to see how these two teams match up, and I think some of the youth of Brophy's showing so far.
And it shows you how deep Basha is, too. They're starting to rotate kids in now that are class of 2027, 2028 players, so your junior and sophomore classes. Look for number 40, Landon Wade. He's one of the top sophomore defensive linemen in the state. Big number 40 for Basha now playing.
You got the running clock now with a 35-point lead. And the handoff to Harrison Chambers, who is taken down inside. Looks like number 40 was in on the stop. And that is Landon Wade. He's a sophomore, and Chris McDonald told me that he could be one of the next really good players on this defense. Again, just a sophomore.
I think he is. He's 6'5", but his wingspan is about 6'8", 6'9". He already has a slew of Division I offers here, and him lining up opposite side of Dante Burley in this formation is really, really good.
Vanden Bosch rolls right, and it is complete to Jason Kubica. So a short game there, and actually that's going to move the chains. So that's a real good play right there for Brophy to get a first down and try to gain some momentum. I know one thing right now, they don't want to end this game with a shutout. They want to put some points on the board. Again, next week they're at Regis Jesuit in Colorado. And Vanden Bosch, a little pass, Devin Fitzgerald over the middle and dropped. By Mark Dewerson. Again, he has just been a terror back there. Basha defense. And Dewerson, he's been terrific.
It's just reading and reacting there. We have a rocket screen with Devin Fitzgerald and Dewerson's eyes watching the offensive lineman work to the second level, just waiting and slipping under that, eluding blockers and securing the tackle for a loss of 2. Great job by the senior linebacker.
It's a very sure tackling team, this Basha Bear squad. So 2nd and 12. Vanden Bosch looking, throw short, and gets the ball off to Chambers, but again, it's going to be behind the line of scrimmage, so not a lot of yardage to be had there.
Couldn't get the number there, but that's just a corner sit, and I believe that might have been 25. Jeremiah Grimes, a junior defensive back, and they are just producing defensive backs. I said in the pregame, Jody, these guys have 12 receivers. They might have 15 corners and safeties, too, because we are just saying every name on the roster right now. Jeremiah Grimes sitting in a cloud coverage out in the flat there, just waiting for Harrison Chambers to come in, securing the tackle to set up a 3rd and 10.
So you've got 3 receivers out to the left of Case Vandenbosch, who's feeling some heat from Bruley, and he's hit by Bruley and taken down as he released the ball. And it was almost picked off there by Basha. Kaiser Wilson.
Just a matter of time before we call Dante Bruley's name once again. He has been a high-flying rocket off that edge all game here. He's working on the strong side. He just dips under the tackle and just pummels Vandenbosch, and that's got to be his 3rd or 4th quarterback hurry tonight in this game.
Yeah, Bruley again had the knee injury last year and was talking to his mom, Leah, is working so hard to get back. He's been so amped up for this season to start, and no surprise after putting on 25 pounds what he's doing. The Brophy punt is high, and it's going to bounce at the 40 and down around the 42. This Saturday, the pressure's building for drivers fighting to clinch a playoff spot in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Don't miss a single lap of the excitement as CW7 takes you live to Portland and its twisting road course. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series coverage beginning at 4 on CW7 Arizona.
We actually have some NASCAR ties to this broadcast.
Really?
Rick Garrettson, the former Chandler head football coach, his son is a big time in the pit crew of NASCAR. So.
Really? I did not know that. All right, Jake Rogers is in at quarterback, and the handoff goes to Jaden Baldwin. Not a lot there. In fact, I think they got back to the line. Or, my bad, gain of 3. That's 2nd and 7 now. Two minutes to go here, and the clock running in the 3rd quarter. Rogers flanked by Gaines, who gets the handoff. Not Gaines. 37 is going to be TJ Straughter.
Straughter listed as a defensive back, getting some running back carries here in the 3rd quarter as Basha spells most of their skill players. We have a brand new crop of skill players out there for Basha. Junior Phillips, a senior wide receiver, as well as LJ Williams now out there for the Bears. And most of their offensive linemen, though, looks the same.
Let's give some love to some of those guys. We've mentioned Yarborough and Hildebrand, but so steady in there. Cade Carricker, the center, Jack Bennett, the right guard, and Tavita Kale, who moved from the defensive line to play left guard this year.
Yeah, Basha, that offensive line, they love Tavita on there. Tavita has been a mauler all offseason.
Pass from Rogers is complete. And that is to number 14, Williams. LJ Williams with the catch. And these guys are getting some valuable reps right now, up by 35 here in the 3rd.
And Rogers, there's no jitters anymore. Rogers had a whole series to end the 1st half and ran a pretty effective 2-minute drill, put him in a position to get some points on a field goal that was just a slightly wide right. He throws an absolute bullet, Jody. It is a high rocket.
4th and 1, and just getting, I believe they got the yardage, but it wasn't easy. That was Gaines with the ball. And Evander Vargas, number 96 for Brophy, was there to make the stop. And I believe they made the stop, yeah, so nice job by that Brophy defense as Gaines was not able to get the yardage. hard on 4th down.
That's the sophomore defensive lineman, 5'10", 210. Vander Vargas shedding the block and securing that tackle. Good stop on 4th down for the Broncos.
There have been some nice plays from that interior line. 1st and 10 now. Brophy takes over at midfield. Van Bosch throws in the direction of Donovan McNabb Jr. He had a little bit of pressure, but the passing game just looks a little bit off with the timing. Stay with us. End of 3. Basha 35, Brophy 0.
It's David Kimmerly. I've lived here for over 70 years, and I know the best place to buy a new Ford. It's Sanderson. But if you're new to the Valley, let me show you why. Size matters. We have 65 acres of cars with parts, service, collision center, custom shop, and an on-site Starliner diner. We're America's most awarded Ford dealership for complete customer satisfaction. We'll treat you right with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense.
Save over 10 grand on Bronco Badlands.
Thank you for your business over the past 70 years.
Frosty berry, bubblegum, chocolate, cool mint. Sound tempting? That's the point. But we're not talking candy or drinks. We're talking about nicotine pouches. No smoke, no smell, but they're still harmful and addictive. They can mess with your teeth and gums, your brain and heart. Tobacco-free doesn't mean risk-free. Don't get played by the flavors. Know what you're putting in your body. Stay smart. Visit learnmoreaz.org.
Welcome back. We are getting ready to start the 4th quarter, but first, we wanted to talk with DJ Dino. You are the DJ of the Stampede. Can you tell me what the Stampede is first?
The Stampede is basically just the group of guys over here that you can see in the same thing that we're wearing, and it's just all about energy, man. We're just all out to have some fun and just, play some music.
And what is your ultimate hype song that really gets them going?
Oh, God. Asking a DJ this, that's hard. I don't even have an answer. They're all really good. I feel like everyone likes most of the songs you play as long as you feel the vibe of what they're feeling.
And what would you describe as your job ultimately for the whole Stampede?
Just to keep them happy. I'm just supposed to be out there and, go for it. And just kind of, like I said, feel the vibe.
Well, thank you so much. Get back to spinning those tables and keep bringing the hype to the Stampede. They need it.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lexi. Yeah, the kids are having fun. This is what high school's all about, the sense of community.
Thank you guys.
And that's certainly going on out here. The Stampede. Cody, I like those outfits.
Yeah, look at that. Just rocking that. They were rocking that for the pep rally, too. And he had a great playlist in the Arizona Daily Mix CW7 Thursday morning pep rally with Brad Perry. It was a fun time.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And we'll be having coverage of that on CW7 Arizona for all of our game days. As Case Van Bosch is swarmed by a host of Bears defenders. No room to run. It's been a tough night for this Brophy offense. Case is used to making something out of nothing, but it has been tough sledding tonight.
Yeah, how about this? You have Eli Cronin sitting now in the second half, and you have 42 O'Shane Bird, a senior defensive lineman and linebacker, 6 foot 240, sitting at Mike Backer, waiting for Case Van Bosch to pull that. And same thing, securing the tackle, running his feet through contact, shows you how deep this Basha defense is.
They're getting into the depth here as Van Bosch finds Devin Fitzgerald. Big catch there from Devin. All the way down to the 30-yard line. That is the type of big play that Brophy's been looking for all night.
That's a great pass by Case Van Bosch. Floats it over the second level linebackers there and in front of the secondary. He's been high on a couple of those throws, those level throws today. But that Case Van Bosch showing the accuracy and the touch on that deep ball. Devin Fitzgerald doing a good job of high pointing that. And Devin Fitzgerald is probably up to 13 to 14 targets. And I love he's never quit. He's never quit in this football game. He's always running his routes. max effort, trying to create separation. And Case Vandenbosch has taken some licks in this football game, but he's staying in the pocket, still surveying here. And here's the touch I'm talking about. He's got to float that over the linebackers, but in front of the defensive backs. Good accuracy there from the Air Force commit.
4 defensive backs surrounding Devin Fitzgerald. I think that got Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Legend was out of the seat for that one in the end zone as, again, Larry Fitzgerald here watching his son Devin, who's headed to Notre Dame. But these guys, this is game 1 of the high school slate, and it's all about winning a state championship. So they are looking to make some plays here before the end of this game to get some momentum going for next week. 1st and 10 now from the 29. And Vandenbosch again looking to pass. And he hits a tight end. A completion, so a little bit of rhythm now for Case Vandenbosch as that is John Krastowski with the catch.
There, Krastowski just working levels. Kind of go cross in the middle. Vandenbosch gets hit and still gets a nice accurate pass going on. And another play to move the sticks for Brophy as Basha. Here we go. We got some week 1 cramping going on out in the field.
Yeah, it's there's no question it is hot to be playing football out here. Our Red Zone sponsor in tonight's game is Phillips Law Group. Everything you need to win, including a Phillips. Krastowski on the left side, and Vandenbosch moving the chains now, and some momentum as Scout Kinkle, the backup running back, is in, and that one incomplete. Intended for Donovan McNabb Jr. That was deflected by Basha's Xavier Rivera-Rogers.
He's another commitment, one of the last ones that we get to talk about on this broadcast. He's also verbally committed to the University of New Mexico. I love Basha here. Total mind games. They had their 2s and 3s in pretty much the entire second half. Brophy's getting down. Now they're in the red zone. What does Basha do? Coach McDonald said, hey, starters, get back in there. The entire starting unit is back out now for Basha.
And 2nd and 10. The catch is made by Harrison Chambers. Wow, getting it done, but Dewerson is right there.
I just came out of my seat, Jody.
Yes, you
did.
did.
The power's popping. Mark Dewerson, bam! Unloads on Harrison Chambers there. He works the flat from the inside backer position. I could hear that pop up here on these sidelines. Mark Dewerson, we have called his name a million times here tonight on this broadcast. High-flying linebacker securing another tackle, laying down the hammer here in the 4th quarter.
And Chambers goes out. Kinkle now to the right of Case Vandenbosch, and McNabb is in motion on the left side. Vandenbosch heads to the end zone, floats the pass to Fitzgerald, and it's a touchdown for Devin Fitzgerald. Beautiful pass and beautiful catch on the other end from Vandenbosch to Fitzgerald.
Yeah, smart play called by Brophy. They're a 2-by-2 set, Jody, and they motion the trips to the field side. And what that allows, it's one-on-one towards that boundary side with Devin Fitzgerald. Little outside release fade, and that is a great pitch and catch. Vandenbosch puts the ball right in the money, only where Fitzgerald can high point that pass for Brophy's first touchdown of the season.
Now, Devin last year had 720 yards and 9 touchdowns, so there is touchdown number 1 of the senior season. And kick is good, 35-7. There it is, Vandenbosch to Fitzgerald, touchdown.
This was no crime of passion. This was a premeditated murder.
Sometimes the dead do speak.
Law and Order Toronto Criminal Intent.
Season premiere September 24th.
Nothing brings people and families together faster than sharing food. Great friends, memories, and good times. For over 2 generations, Valle Luna has served you the food that brought you together, and we've been proud to do so. We're fortunate to have been a part of so many stories, gatherings, and traditions that continue on today and will tomorrow. Start a tradition of your own. Come taste authentic Sonoran-style food with your family and friends here with us at Valle Luna. The Labor Day sale is on now at More Furniture. Join us this weekend where you'll find every bedroom, living room, and dining room is in stock, on sale, and ready for immediate free white glove delivery to your home. Plus, we'll remove your gently used pieces and donate them locally. You've worked hard all year long. It's your turn to relax in style and comfort. Labor Day savings like never before. Only at More Furniture, where everyone gets more furniture for less.
Here we go. Oh, stop it. Is this? Stop it. Oh, my goodness.
I think Jordan is supposed to be talking right now.
This
not
is
you,
crazy.
Cody. We dug up your huddle film. I'll tell you what. Color me impressed. Look at that interception.
Stop
And look at him run. Cody Cameron to the end zone.
Oh, that's a section title game.
The Hay Bailers.
It is. That is a section title game. 2012, December 1st, 2012, against the Milpitas. Oh, this is the Prune Bowl.
Are you surprised, by the way?
Oh, my God. I am so surprised. You guys make me blush. This is against Gilroy High School in the Prune Bowl. It's our arch rivals here. Oh, my goodness,
You're a nimble.
guys.
Look at you making the cuts.
Oh, man. God, this
Knifing through that defense like butter. Or
this is amazing. I love this play. I have a force here. I'm in the field. I'm a strong side safety. I'm coming up. I set the force here. I peel off, and I strip the ball from the ball carrier. His name was Don Barge, which sounds like state, up the sideline. Take a 6. That's crazy.
I did not know this about you, that you love to hit people.
Oh,
so there
man.
it is. There's the safety, Cody Cameron.
Jen,
nice job,
awesome.
Jen, and our crew, and I believe a hat tip to Ralph Amsden. Jaden Baldwin takes this one across midfield, still on his feet, and finally taken down at about the 48-yard line, but a terrific return there. I think that in on the tackle was Landon Barnes. Wow. Big return there.
You guys just have me flustered now, but going back
that was the whole point.
Front of the kids. Jaden Baldwin showing his electric speed there in the return game. Hey, that was the first time Basha got to return something.
So, by the way, was your dad a coach on that team?
Yeah,
Is he still coaching?
He was the head football coach. He's still coaching.
Is he listening tonight?
I believe him and my mom are listening tonight on the CW live stream, which is awesome. So that's a really cool moment.
Dad, you're awesome, and you have your finger on the pulse of high school football here in Arizona, and doing a great job.
We get to do this, Jody. It's fun. It's fun time.
It is. And the handoff, and going up the middle, number 37, that's TJ Strotter for the Basha Bears, all the way down to the 25-yard line.
He was running stride for stride with him. Is still junior tackle Jake Hildebrand. Jake Hildebrand, 6'7", 300 pounds, 20-plus, Power 4 offers, can go wherever he wants in the next 12 months. This is the fourth quarter, running stride for stride, working second and third level with those long blocks. Jake Hildebrand is the name to know.
Nice block by Tristan Saylor, too, in the second level there, number 84, a name to watch. 6'2", 200-pound receiver, just a sophomore.
He's going to be a superstar. You mentioned him last quarter on one of those returns. Tristan Saylor, another kid who runs track out there for Basha High School. He is uber athletic. He's going to be a name to know in the state of Arizona big time.
He is in right now. There he is, cruising onto the field, and he's got the size to go with that speed. So it's Jake Rogers barking out the commands and trying to draw the Broncos offsides, but he's going to hand it off here, and he is driven down. Strotter, Josh Finch-Logan in on that tackle, along with one of the linebackers, I believe, too. But Josh Finch-Logan, what a job in there in the middle of that Brophy defense.
Yeah, the senior defensive lineman. He's one of those players that Coach Tony Tabor, the defensive line coach, loves so much off this Brophy defense. This sheds a block, and bam! Just driving his hips through contact there, that other number.
John Michael.
John
Michael's made some plays, too, tonight. He's a junior, 6'1", 224. So 2nd and 3 now. And it's Rogers feeling the heat from James Pike, but he gets the pass off, and it is caught. Alex Buggy down there to make the tackle. Number 82 for Basha, that is Eric Newman.
It's a nice little sidestep by Eric Newman, showing the speed. Acceleration quickly there, and picks up another first down for this Basha unit. Showcasing a lot of 2s and 3s, but still that starting offensive lineman still out there getting reps for their quarterback, Jake Rogers. And I love that, Jody, because it allows Jake Rogers to have as much time as possible with that starting unit still in front of him.
And building their stamina in this heat. And there is another run by TJ Straughter, who's brought down, but not before getting a couple of yards. And this young man looks like a tough runner. Some of the qualities of Gaines, ability to bulldoze his way through there.
Now, when you talk about the top teams in the state of Arizona, the thing that people have to know, a lot of their 2s and 3s would be guaranteed starters at about 90% of the schools in the state of Arizona. So the luxury of the top teams in the state of Arizona, even though the kids maybe aren't getting a ton of PT, some of the juniors and sophomores, it doesn't mean they're not great high school football players. They're really, really good players for Basha.
And another carry for Straughter, who takes it over the right side, but the tackle is made. James Pike coming up to play the run. It's a nice play there by James Pike.
Yeah, he's flying up from that safety position once again. One of those senior defensive backs for Brophy. Picked up his first couple of Division I offers this year to NAU and Drake. He's got great academics, and his backstory too. I think we were talking in the prep. It's a crazy backstory for James Pike. I believe you were telling me. Wasn't he had something with the...
Well, there was an interesting story with he and Alex Buggy on a family vacation and helping save a neighbor.
Yes.
Is that the story you're talking about?
That's the story I'm talking about. I know it rang a bell.
Basically, his stepfather was giving CPR to, I believe it was a neighbor, and then Alex Buggy had to step in and continue and saved a life.
Saved a life.
But yeah, James Pike, he's one of the captains on this team. Mom is Nicole Bidwell, the Arizona Cardinals. And Evander Vargas making a play on Straughter. So now heavy load of the run game heading in the direction of TJ Straughter. But he was brought down there by Vargas.
I like this sophomore defensive lineman. We've called his name a couple times on this broadcast. Evander Vargas, maybe undersized for a 6'8" defensive lineman, 5'10", 210, but he plays with some serious heart. He's been in the backfield now a couple times with some tackles for loss on the Brophy front.
3 minutes and counting. Straughter gets the nod, and spinning in there, Alex Buggy wrestling him down.
Straughter's running style here, very similar to Josh Gaines and Noah Roberts. North to south, it's something we don't talk about a lot of times, but falling forward, continuing to move those feet and fall forward, maximizing yardage gains. Special running back room, very talented.
See Luke Ryan, the tight end, the junior, is in there. Another guy with size, 6'4", 205. 3rd and 3 now for Jake Rogers. Handoff Straughter, and gets past a tackler and down close to the goal line.
DJ Straughter with a carry.
Yeah, one of the defenders flew in there, but Straughter kept going north, full head of steam.
Yeah, outside zone there, and he beats the defense to the angle. Goes past the sticks and run in. Still behind the transfer. Dejon Yarborough still outside at right tackle, hooking in force players all game. I was so impressed with this big man. You're right, Chris McDonald talking to him. He said Cody was like an early Christmas gift that came into our program, but he had to get acclimated to the heat, the weather, our style, our scheme, and Dejon's doing a great job tonight.
1st and goal, and it's a touchdown. Jake Rogers throws a touchdown to Eric Newman. Nice job by the Basha offense, grinding out that drive and connecting Rogers to Newman for the score, and it is 41-6.
And that is Jake Rogers' first passing touchdown of his varsity career once again. Him and his dad moving up from South Point Catholic last year, landing at Basha. Jake Rogers, the JV quarterback, a really, really smart, intelligent quarterback, and he has a cannon, getting a lot of PT tonight. Congrats to him on his first passing touchdown, and Eric Newman's first receiving touchdown of his high school career.
Very impressive from some of the backups on this team, but certainly the first of many for Jake Rogers with the arm that we've seen tonight, Cody.
Yeah, good stock block there on the outside, too, by L.J. Williams. Get the ball out quick on a nice, we call that the quick screen to the left there. Stock block, one-on-one situation, working the outside, and the Basha offense rolling with 2 quarterback plays. This was a situation where we thought Brophy Veers might have been hurt in the football game, and I talked to the Basha staff at half. They go, nope, we just want to see what we have with Jake Rogers. Put him into a situation where, you know, a little bit of pressure, 2-minute drill, want to see how he responds. And boy, did he ever. He's come out here and slaying that rock. They know what they have with Brophy Veers. He's a senior captain, a leader, Division I quarterback. Let's see what type of depth we have at quarterback. And honestly, you don't see it a lot. I like that, Jody. I think it's cool.
Yeah, good investigative reporting by you, Cody.
Oh, there we go. Well, you know, I don't want to take all the credit. It was their locker room here, the away locker room, is the storage unit next to the bathroom. So kill 2 birds with 1 stone there.
Of course you did. Multitasking.
There you go.
But good to know that Brody's okay. That was our first question. And yeah, wow, what a luxury of the depth. Again, that seems like the story here tonight. The first teamers performed really well. The backups have come in and continued to play to that standard of Basha Bear football, and I think what we're seeing from Brophy is some of the youth on the O-line. I think they're going to be fine. I just think this is a tough matchup to come out of the gate, of course, and they never shy away from that in 6A. These guys are, you know, Brophy, Jason Jewell, you look at what he's done. He's gone to the 6A conference semifinal the last 2 seasons. And as we talked about earlier, Basha was the state runner-up to Liberty.
And I think it's a situation where you get to see what type of team you have, right? How are we going to respond now after this? And they destroyed Regis Jewett last year here at Brophy High School. So we'll get to see what they do now on the road.
And, you know, we talked about Brophy up against Regis coming up, but how about for Basha, Orange Lutheran? That is a huge game. Those guys are always great and in the top 10 in the country. Olu.
Yeah, that is a juggernaut coming out of the Trinity League of Southern California, which most people have as the #1 league in the entire country. Those kids are going to come out here looking for a battle because there's a lot of talk, right, of who's the best state, best teams. They're coming out here. That's going to be a heck of a matchup.
Remember, they came out and played Chandler. A great catch there by Devin Fitzgerald with a couple of defenders on him. Big gain from Case Vandenbosch. Another really good throw by Case to Devin, and you're seeing that connection now.
Yeah, we don't have the stats here, but I'm assuming he's got to be closing in on double-digit catches, if not already eclipsed that. But as easily 15 targets, but I love that Devin has never quit in this football game. Had the touchdown the last drive, too.
Brophy now, 1st and 10 from the 49, and a throw out to the tight end, John Krastowski. And that is going to bring us to the end of this one. Basha over Brophy, 42-6. Cody, this game certainly not nearly as close as the matchup between these two last year in October, which was 35-32. I think Basha really making a statement here in the first game.
Yeah, I think it shows the depth and the level of talent at all positions for the Basha Bears. But most people had these guys as the #1 team in the state of Arizona, even though, in my opinion, Liberty's still on the mountain. But I think this is the deepest Basha team that they've had, and that includes the 2022 state team. I think a lot of positions where they were really youthful last year, those kids have experience. I look at that secondary, Jody, they got 8 kids they could play there. I look at the running back and wide receiver room, they got 8 to 10 kids who play there. Heck, they just proved right now they got 2 qualified quarterbacks. So if you're a Brophy fan, I'm not holding your head high. You just played what could be the top team in the state of Arizona. But now, hey, regroup, Okay, we'll see what got wrong. Maybe Dalen Sharper comes back. That's going to open up your offense as a whole even more, and they'll be ready to go next week.
All right, let's go down to the field. Our sideline reporter, Lexi Lambert, is alongside. Lexi?
Coach, congratulations on this first week win. What was the secret to your guys' success tonight?
Just offensive line played really well. I mean, the obviously defense played lights out. I mean, we got to clean up some of the penalties. We gave them some freebies, and that's what we talked about all week. So a little disappointed in that. And but other than that, I thought both sides. The key to the game was both sides of the line dominated. And anytime you get that, you're going to have success.
And so with this week one win, what are you going to be taking into your next game you guys have ahead?
Obviously, just cleaning things up. You know, we've got a really good Orange Lutheran team coming into town. Just learn from our mistakes and every day just get better.
And how would you say your leadership through all your veterans has stepped up?
Well, a lot of these kids, have been playing here for a really long time, and so they kind of know the standard, kind of know the process. So, we're very senior Latin, and then a lot of our juniors have played for a long time too. So,
thank you so much. Congratulations, Coach. Go celebrate with your team. Thank you guys.
Lexi.
Back to you.
Great job, Lexi. Chris McDonald, the winning coach here with the Basha Bears. And tonight's drone coverage is brought to you by Sports 360 AZ. For the most complete coverage of high school sports in Arizona, visit sports360az.com. Thursday night football, it's the Fiesta Bowl High School Showdown here on CW7 Arizona. What an effort here by both teams, but Basha overpowering the Brophy Broncos. Brophy did some good things, but couldn't really sustain drives here tonight. And Basha using the two-headed monster at quarterback and running back. Brody Veers, Jake Rogers, both getting reps at quarterback tonight. The senior and the junior, and then at running back, Noah Roberts and Josh Gaines leading the way. We also saw some big plays from Cash Brock, Jaden Baldwin, but that big offensive line, a terrific job once again, and then the defense. And a couple of blocked punts by Trey Knox, and a special teams touchdown by Caleb Jordan. So it was all Basha here tonight. I love to always see the sportsmanship at the end with the teams shaking hands, and now we have, of course, Basha getting ready to get a message from their coaches. We'll take a look at the schedule that we have coming up. We're just getting started with our slate of games, the Fiesta Bowl High School Showdown all season long on CW Arizona. And in 2 weeks, we'll be out at Sandra Day O'Connor, Red Mountain. These two teams are always powerhouses in 6A. Then you've got Saguaro and Cesar Chavez, September 18th, and you continue. There's a big matchup of Queen Creek teams. October 16th, Queen Creek at ALA Queen Creek, who lost to Hamilton here tonight, or at least it was looking that way. And a feature matchup at Prescott. We're excited for that one. Bradshaw Mountain at Prescott, and then rounding out with Basha again at Perry. So we begin with Basha and end with Basha. Great job again tonight, our entire crew. Jen, Don, David, Heil, Brian Sissick, our executive director, Brad Sesmat, executive producer, Lexi Lambert on the sideline here tonight. We thank our ADs here from Brophy, Josh Garcia and Steve Schaff. Cody Cameron, my partner as well. Terrific job here tonight. Basha over Brophy, 42-6. Our post-game coverage is up next. Stay tuned. Good night, everyone.
At $8, this deal's coming in hot. Get the double junior jumbo jack cheeseburger, hot. Or the really big chicken sandwich, hot. Plus all these sides and a drink, so hot. Try my $8 hot box, the hottest box meal out there. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
You know what makes my firm different? We focus on you. We focus on telling your story, how this accident has impacted your life, your family, and your future. And when we tell your story to the insurance companies, we tell a story that demands action. When you're more than just a case number, that's when real results happen. Results like over $1 billion recovered for our clients and a 98% winning record. At Sweet James, we deliver results that matter because your story is our priority. So if you or a loved one have been hurt in an accident, call now for a free consultation.
9 out of 10 people addicted to alcohol or drugs started as a teen. That's why starting a conversation before your child is exposed to alcohol and drugs is important. Over 70% of young people say parents or caregivers are a reason they don't drink or use drugs. How can you make a difference? Pay attention and show you care. Share facts and help them build skills on how to avoid alcohol and other drugs. Talk. They hear you. Visit talknowaz.com.
Delivery and carry-out from Peter Piper Pizza isn't just fun, it's fun! At a price that's perfect any day of the week. Right now, fun is a large specialty pizza plus a large one-topping pizza and a cinnamon crunch dessert for just $35.99. Fun is still made fresh daily and handcrafted pizzas. Fun is crispy wings, delicious desserts, and more! Bring all your favorites home. And score even more deals and rewards when you order online or in the app. Because at Peter Piper Pizza, the fun is baked in.
Starting at $3.99, you can get one, make it a double, or go for 3 delicious patties. Go as big as you want with my Bonus Jack combo starting at $3.99. Now you can say you're loving it and actually mean it. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Welcome back into the Sports 360 AZ post-game show right here on CW7. Great game tonight. Basha wins 42-6. Welcome on into the post-game show one more time. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Cody Cameron, and down on the field, we love this partnership with the Fiesta Bowl. She has our championship belt MVP. So Lexi, what do you got for us?
This was a dominant performance by you guys. Big win. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. It was a good win, good way to start off the season.
And so you had 2 block punts. What was the feeling when you're running at him and you block it?
It was great. I knew as soon as I got off the ball that I was going to go get it, so I just wanted to do that. Yeah.
What's going through your mindset? What prepped you for that moment?
Really just going through it in practice, just going through the motions and knowing that I can go do it.
So you guys have another big game coming up. What are you guys looking forward to? What are you going to take from this game into that game?
Yeah, I mean, this was a good win, but we got to go against Orange Lutheran, who just beat Miami Northwestern, so it's going to be a tough game. It's good that we're doing it at home, so we can really just put on for Chandler.
Well, congratulations on winning the Fiesta Bowl belt, and best of luck with you next week.
Thank you.
We got to get ourselves some of those belts, but we'll talk more about this game and have highlights after a quick break, so Cody, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.